Weird.
We can't all make declarations of hatred at the same time. Hi, everybody.
There are dozens of us. Dozens!
你好中国只叫吸纳，我爱更尊重中。石油站。
Alson, help me up onto his casket so I can dance on it.
I don't care.
But how did you ever find us?
Oh, easy. We just read the screenplay you left us.
Oh, God! Oh, God! Oh, God!
You get nothing! You lose! Good day, sir!
I'll help you. Everything is sexist. Everything is racist. Everything is homophobic. And you have to point it all out.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. Huh? Zappuccino.
All right, it is Thursday night in Tooneytown, and there are 5,000 of us subscribers to the Tooneytown TV channel, so that can only mean one thing. It is time not just for Toonie Talk TV, but folks, it is time for the Toonie Talk TV, the Tooneytown TV 5,000 subscriber celebration, and we could not be here without all of you wonderful people out there in the chat, all of you amazing people who have subscribed to the channel, who have brought us from 0 to 5,000 subscribers since May of 2024. I mean, that is pretty awesome, pretty incredible. And we've got a great show for you guys tonight. The first hour, it's gonna be pretty much business as usual. We're gonna be talking a lot about our typical pop culture stories, a lot of them written from that Park Place. And then at 9 o'clock, we will start off our game show that we're doing here tonight. It is a game show that I have stolen from one of my favorite YouTubers, Mr. Sunday Movies. It is called Guess the Movie by its horrible review. So I will be doing a little Guy Smiley action here tonight, and I will be hosting the game, and it will be super fun. But I got a special guest who's dropping in for a little bit tonight. Before I get to the main cast, let me bring him on real quick. You know him from his own channel. You also know him from Mr. H Reviews. You also know him from That Game Place, from That Park Place, from The Pro Show, from, you know what, pretty much anytime you turn on your computer and go to YouTube, this guy is streaming somewhere, and that is Culture Casino.
Wow, that's a wonderful way to bring me in, and thank you. Congratulations. Let me say it first and foremost in front of everyone, because you brought me on first. Congratulations on 5K, and in such an expedient manner. My goodness.
Oh, thank you very much.
Telling other people, I'm like, usually, and maybe I told you too, usually it takes you the better part of a year to get anywhere close to 1,000 or just over it. So if you can do 5,000 in a year, you better be at 50,000 next year.
Oh, let's hope. No, but I mean, look, I had a lot of help along the way. I mean, I had help from you, from Jonas, from Pro, from Nate over at Mr. H Reviews. I mean, a lot of wonderful friends who have kind of helped me along the way. Speaking of friends that have helped me along the way, though, Culture, I got to bring out the rest of the cast. And how I got to start with the one, the only. She's Trish.
Hi, everybody. 5,000. Woo.
What's going on, Trish? We just recorded a new episode of Crime and Punishment.
We did.
Our true crime podcast that is a member exclusive on this channel. Very excited for that one. That's going to release sometime in the next week. So guys should be, if you're gifted a membership tonight, then look out for it. But Trish, we got a lot of people we got to bring on, so
I
gotta
know.
move
Go
on
for it.
everybody's got their own intro video. Nolan Thunder is here.
Welcome to the biggest party this side of Toontown, baby. 5K, let's do this thing.
That's why you didn't have your camera on before the show. You were like, oh, I don't have a good background tonight. I was gonna be like, Nolan, I don't care about that. Oh, thanks, buddy. That's fantastic. I love it. Thank you.
No problem, brother.
Oh, goodness. Also joining us, guys, you know her as the nerd of all trades. Her name is Jessica Calais Sheffield, and she is here with us tonight.
Hey, everyone.
Jess!
Welcome, and congratulations on the 5K. Thanks.
Congratulations are in order for you too. I mean, I watched the president give you your job back live on TV the other day. So.
Yes, I am very excited about that. Super, super stoked, and thank you very much for that. But yeah, I had no idea that you got 5K so quickly. So that's phenomenal. I'm excited to be part of this.
Absolutely. But guys, look, when a piece of lost media falls through the cracks, there's only one man who can bring it back to you. The one, the only Mr. Martin Stone, who's been here since the very beginning of Toontown TV. Who's muted currently.
I am.
He's talking like, yes.
Mary Five Southsmith.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. We got one more person to bring on the panel, folks, and he's one of my favorite people in the world. Lorne!
Woo!
We love you, Lord.
How y'all doing?
Wonderful.
Lauren,
are we excited for a 5,000 member stream?
We are super excited for a 5,000.
Are we going to throw a party? Are we going to get drunk and wild and just
wasted?
Get all crazy?
We sure are, Lauren.
This isn't a Diddy party, dude.
No, we're not having a freak off tonight. There's no freak off. This is not the freak off. If you're here for the freak off, you're in the wrong place. Probably just said that too many times. For YouTube, we're now demonetized. Thank you very much. Hope you guys super chat tonight. But Kevin Apollo is, by the way, Kevin Apollo is on his way. He might be a little bit late. He had a family thing that had to be attended to last minute here tonight. So if he gets here, he'll be here a little bit late. But we're waiting for him, and we can't wait to get him here. All right. So before we get started with the news, a lot of you guys have been extremely generous already with this chat, with this stream. So let's take a look at what some of you guys are doing out there, because man alive, I can't believe how generous you guys have been tonight so far. Erica from Hanging with Erica and Raph, a good friend, for $20. Congrats, Marvin, on 5K. Wish I could stay up longer. Wanted to send you love and support. Many blessings to you. Thank you, my friend. I know you're out there in the hellscape known as Europe. So I know it's very late over there. So, I know you got to get to bed. So, but thank you for the support. I appreciate it. Chef Eddie just became a new member of the Toontown TV channel. So Chef Eddie now gets exclusive early access to all Toontown videos. He gets the members exclusive stream on Mondays at 3 p.m. He gets, Crime and Punishment, Kevin Apollo's rants. There will be the upcoming show that we're going to be doing called Grown Ass Men Meet Boy Meets World, and a whole bunch of other stuff that we've got cooking. So I might even start doing some book readings as well, like I'm doing over on the Patreon, which is the Lorne Connor special. But
sir, I would like to make a motion.
Yes,
I would like to immediately put Chef Eddie in YouTube jail and prevent him from receiving his membership benefits, because he suggested that for the 5,000 celebration, we need to make me binge watch Star Trek Voyager. And I think that means that he is stripped of all rights and duties that he would normally be entitled to.
Oh, I'll take it under advisement, Mr. Connor. But
can I at least get a second on the motion?
I'll second that, but we could at least go through all of Janeway's war crimes.
I might be up for that. All right.
That would be a whole stream in and of itself, guys. Tyler Golosinski for $9.99. For my TV recommendation, I suggest watching Going Dutch with Dennis Leary and the actress who played Donna from the David Tennant era of Doctor Who. That would be Catherine Tate. The one before The Dark Times. Yes, but then she kicked off The Dark Times with him. Then Tyler Golosinski again for $20 says, don't want to forget I acknowledge Marvin as my editor tribal chief and Kevin Big Papa Bear as his hand of vengeance and Trish as the mistress of pop culture. Yet I do not love you the same way Jacob loves Solo. So thank you very much, Tyler. We appreciate you. You and QB, a member for 4 months, says, need dancing girls to celebrate this milestone. Well, we don't have any of those. We do have Culture Casino, and he's got some cool moves, though.
Yeah, but I'm not wearing my Wizards outfit. So.
I remember that intro video from your 10,000 celebration where you were getting down with it. It was awesome.
Yeah, I'm a few hundred away from 30.
That's amazing.
Wow. I would like to point out that Nolan is wearing a Wizards outfit.
He is. Nolan
We all know how Nolan likes to dance with those round-bottomed Latinas.
Oh, yeah.
You and Cumia gifted 1 Tooneytown TV membership. So congratulations to whoever picked that up. Chef Eddie, member for 2 months. Wait a minute, Chef Eddie. How are you a member for 2 months if you're also a new member? That's maybe you just re-upped your membership. But it says, congrats on 5,000. You have more viewers than AEW. Yeah, probably. At this point, who knows?
Throughout the day, especially on Tuesdays and Thursdays, Marvin has way more viewers than AEW.
This is true because I do appear on shows far larger than any that I host. So Regina Sharp for $10 says, who's better than the one and only, if I can, I can't believe I didn't have this like queued up already.
Glom Gold! Glom Gold! Glom Gold! Glom Gold!
I love how Flintheart Glomgold has become like the unofficial mascot of this channel. Johnny Cage for $10 says, congrats Marvin, 5K subscribers. Hopefully Dis doesn't try to lead a mutiny on this channel. Yeah, I'm seriously, guys. Dis is constantly trying to take over the show. All right, that's a joke from Tooneytown Wrestling that some people got and some people didn't. Regina Sharp for 5 also says, Darkwing Duck, jobs for Gizmo Duck. Heel Dis told me so. Fantastic. John Williams says, congrats on 5,000 subs. By the way, Kev, last member stream, Marv invited the bear and both talk crap about you. Good thing he's not here to hear that. John Williams, you narc. My goodness. Regina Sharp for $5 says, oh yeah, like grats and stuff on the 5K. Thank you.
You know.
And became a YouTube member. So welcome to the party, pal. Okay, and yes, guys, I am aware that I misspelled Marvin in the title of the video. It's a good thing that
Marivn.
How do you do that to your own name, bro?
When I'm writing very fast in between the multiple live streams and plethora of news articles that I have to produce every single day.
There's a reason he got to 5K. He never stops working.
Yes,
that's true. Editor and typo. I mean, chief.
Yeah. It's a good thing that my job is not to write things correctly.
No, not at all.
No, but we have got some we have got to jump right into it here, guys, because we've got some news about our friend Superman, or at least you know what, I want to hear from other people about this one because I personally don't understand where the where this is all coming from. So James Gunn defends Superman footage against allegations of facial CGI in a recent TV trailer. Now, guys, those of you that have seen this trailer, can you guys please tell me what the big, I don't see anything wrong with it. And some people are acting like this is the worst thing possible.
It doesn't actually look like his face. It also looks like he has 70-year-old man wrinkles in his forehead. Not to mention the fact that he has baby hands. And there's also very strange musculature placement from his chest to his shoulder connections. Again, it's much easier to see when you see the whole clip looped because I made a loop clip for this. But and then his eyes go 2 different directions.
I was gonna say he's a touch of the pug eye going on.
Yeah, except that it move. It's like boo, like
geckos.
like turning over, his eyes are gonna keep rolling or something. It was very strange.
Maybe he just has an asymmetrical face.
Most people do.
Everybody does. Yeah.
I will say it's a pretty dynamic flight. We've never really seen him fly this dynamically before, but
yes, because this is the first time he's played Superman.
I meant okay. So, taking to the social media platform Threads, which James Gunn might be the sole remaining user of, the Superman director and DC Studios co-CEO reassured fans that the shot was entirely practical. He said there is zero CGI in his face. People's faces can look different when you put a wide-angle lens up close. The background plate in Svalbard is 100% real, as is David. Now, I don't believe that means that David was in Svalbard, but I think he means that they superimposed the real footage of him, probably on a wire, into actual footage from Svalbard, wherever that is. I assume Norway.
What? I thought David could actually fly.
You can take the Kryptonian out of Svalbard, but you can't take the Svalbard out of the Kryptonian.
For real.
Well, what you also can't do is say that it's CGI free. I mean, maybe his face was CGI free, but they keyed out the background, so there's some kind of computer generated shift there. It's a composited shot. It has to be.
This is why you have Coach Casino on a show, because he knows this stuff.
Yeah, computer generated in some way, because keying is literally removing a particular color out of the background, so you can actually see the plate that he says is from Svalbard, wherever it's from.
Let's just say Norway.
Yeah, it's where the fjords are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Why is there a J in fjord?
Bring it up with Francesco Salbach.
I will. Next time I see Frank, I'm gonna have at it. And then, yeah, he's crazy. Oh, by the way, Kevin Apollo's thing was great.
Which thing? The tweet that's here?
Tweet. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I did use Kev's tweet in this article. So the controversy is obviously reminiscent of Warner Brothers' disastrous handling of Superman's appearance in Justice League when they had the mustache CGI. So Kev said, I have to say it's ridiculous that Disney can bring you back from the dead after a rewrite and reshoot, but the WB can't remove a mustache or have sense enough to delay the movie 5 weeks to get it right. You made Superman look like Rocky Dennis. That is a Kevin Apollo tweet from 2017.
He loves his Rocky Dennis references.
Well, yeah, but he's not
Rocky Dennis.
He's not wrong.
Mm-mm.
I always thought he looked more like Adam Baldwin from Chuck.
What's the Adam Baldwin song?
Adam Baldwin song?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh. There's one out there.
Is it you shot me down, bang, bang, I hit the ground, bang, bang.
Adam Baldwin, not Alec Baldwin.
Whatever, they're all the same.
Isn't it?
Are you talking about the Ballad of Jane?
I was about to say, is it the Ballad of Jane?
No, it's like it's a song like "We Love You, Alec Baldwin," and it's like I don't know.
No, Adam Baldwin.
Oh,
Begins.
Yeah. Colonel Casey from Chuck, not the Shadow.
Okay. By the way, Regina Sharp says, hilariously, Adam Baldwin has played Superman. That's true. In the animated film Superman Doomsday, I believe.
Which is a good movie.
Speaking of Doomsday, okay. Oh, wait, that's Marvel. All right.
By the way, I was not making a Cher reference. I was making a Kill Bill reference.
Really?
I just got what you mean.
Thank you.
Bang,
Wow.
bang,
Well, we could turn back time and find out.
If I could turn back time.
Oh, if you just believe in life after love, it can totally
Stop
happen.
it. That's enough.
Yeah, I want to tell you, her climbing out on that giant 50mm gun was interesting.
So obviously, guys, Superman, a lot of eyes are on Superman, and it's being nitpicked because I think it's safe to say this movie is make or break for DC Studios. I mean, more so, so there is a vacuum right now in the superhero world. Marvel cannot get a hit to save its life, and every time Marvel gets a little ahead of itself, Marvel ultimately shoots itself in the foot. Just like everyone's like, oh, the Daredevil trailer looks really cool, and then like the showrunner is like, hey, you know what sucked? The Daredevil Netflix show. So every single time something like that happens, they manage to take 2 steps back or shoot themselves in the foot. Like I said, DC now has the opportunity with Superman coming this summer to fill that void and become the premier superhero movie studio, Superman has to be flawless for this to happen. It has to be a inspirational, heart-pounding, wholesome movie that just makes you feel deep, deep emotion and leave the theater pumped up. Do you guys think that's possible?
Yeah, I think so. And I even think they've got a chance to beat out Captain America on patriotism at this point.
Oh, 100. I said the other day, I was on Pro's channel, and I said, if I were DC right now, I would have a TV spot out immediately that says truth, justice, and the American way on it. Immediately, because of Anthony Mackie and his weird faux pas.
I feel bad
Lauren,
for Mackie on that one, though.
We'll talk about it in a bit. Lauren, what were you about to say?
I've had a lot of mixed feelings about this because when the initial trailer came out, it felt really weird to me. And I said on our back channels this week when the Little Icons teaser came out, I said it worked better for me. And you responded and said, why? Because it's all the same footage. And I spent a lot of time thinking about that. And I think the fact that it was short actually worked better for it. A lot of it had to do with the music. I hated the electric guitar take on the Superman theme, and I thought that the Icons teaser was a lot more respectful to the music. But beyond that, I agree with you that this is going to be make or break for whatever DC does. Superman works for me when you have the big blue Boy Scout, and the fact that the Icons teaser opens up with him rushing in to shield that girl from all of the flying debris, that's the right place to start. And I think Superman works best when you have the gee whiz kind of 50s science fiction stuff going on with his alien heritage, where you've got the Fortress of Solitude and you've got his android servants, and torn between this cosmic father Jor-El and his human father Jonathan Kent, when he's pushed and pulled between this epic cosmic side of this down-to-earth oh shucks Midwestern upbringing. If they can do that, then the movie can work. I've not been a big fan of what I saw in the full trailer. To me, I didn't like the color keying. There was just something about the big trailer that didn't work for me. I'm hoping somehow they get that element of Superman that is just sort of wholesome. The part that everybody makes fun of when they say he's a boring character. It's like, he's not boring. You just have to attack him emotionally. That's where you get him, because Superman's all heart. If they make him all heart, it will work.
Absolutely. You know whose take I would love to get on this? Actually, it would be Kevin Apollo.
What's going on, guys?
Welcome back, my friend. So we're talking about Superman and facial CGI. I know you are of the idea that he has eyes like an iguana in this. I still personally don't see it.
How? It was the first thing I saw in that shot.
His lazy eye is the least of my problems with this Superman.
Well, we all know, Kevin, that you do dislike facial CGI on Superman because, as you said, in 2017, as was quoted in That Park Place today, I have to say it's ridiculous that Disney can bring you back from the dead after a rewrite and reshoot, but the WB can't remove a mustache or have sense enough to delay the movie 5 weeks to get it right. You made Superman look like Rocky Dennis. We read it before, but now that you're back, I just wanted you to know that I used one of your 2017 quotes.
You realize with the "you can turn back time" quote, Cher was involved in that film, right? With Rocky.
It's all coming together.
Baby boy.
Look, I'm going to tell you right now. This just gives me the vibes that BioWare got involved in this somehow and gave us "My face is tired."
Yeah. That really is true. Culture comes in, he gets that snipe, and then he's gone again.
I'm eating. You want to watch me eat?
No, it's all right, Culture. I'm just giving you crap.
I kind of want to watch you eat.
All right, Lauren.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Nope. I would prefer the camera be turned off again. Yep.
Goodbye, Gandalf.
I did horribly steal that clip from Pro, and I hold it for any time Culture Casino is on the channel. Culture, what do you think about this Superman movie? Like, what do you think? Do you think it has the potential to actually be the hit that it needs to be to launch a new superhero universe that can fill the void that Marvel has left with incompetence?
How verbose do you want me to be?
Preach, brother.
As verbose as you want to be.
I
Preach.
love verboseness.
All right. Bad idea, bad execution, bad guy for the job. All he can do now, based on his recent string of things, is amalgamations. He just has to have everybody in something. He is incapable of doing a solo project, which is what the first Superman movie needed to be, not a team up. This is not a Marvel team up. This is not Guardians of the Galaxy. Anything that he's done, the squad, the off yourself squad. Sorry, I have to be YouTube correct here. But the self-sacrifice squad, whatever you want to call them. But anyway, all that's team ups. He is incapable of shooting anything but ensembles. That is now, because it's worked for him. Now he's relying on it. And I believe he's incapable of producing a good single thing. I mean, even if you look at Peacemaker, that's not an individual effort. And if you like what was the last individual character film that he did?
Scooby-Doo.
Individual character film. Yeah, I can't think of one.
Yeah. So you go back and you go, okay, the last time this guy did anything solo was a while ago. And when he did it, it was not nearly as impressive as his ensemble stuff. And he's still too ingrained in the Joss Whedon comedy bits. He overuses humor. And I don't want that from Superman. We're going to get a lot of lame lines that are just meant to be there for the lulls. So I don't have high hopes. The other thing is, I noticed that almost all of the costumes, unless it's a men's ass, sorry, ladies, but they look like Florence Pugh. They're wearing some baggy pants that makes it look like there's possibly a diaper under there. And it goes for every other part of the costume.
Second time in one day you've rereferenced Florence Pugh.
Not with any kind of love or reverence. Let me tell you that.
I know.
She's hiding. She's hiding mediocre acting ability with something that I don't understand. But she's just kind of the reference point I use for poor costume design, because she's had multiple poor costume designs in multiple film projects. So I don't like any of the costumes, least of all Soup's. And I didn't like any of the visuals I saw from any of the leaked shoots. I don't like any of the visuals we see here. I feel like Gamora is going to show up at some point. We're going to get Godzilla references in this movie. I got problems. So that's not it. What's the big? It's not Gamora. That's the chick from Marvels. What's the big dinosaur thing?
Gamera.
Gamera. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Turtle.
Yeah, turtle.
It's James Gunn. Gamora could show up.
Yeah, really.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's and again, this is what it comes down to. Is like I knew we were going to get some kind of evil dinosaur King Kong Godzilla thing. It was going to be in this, and
I like the idea of Superman fighting a kaiju, though.
I mean, if you're going to do it, then use Titano. He has his own kaiju. So freaking
if he does it, he'd be referencing the Max Fleischer cartoons, from back in the 40s.
Yeah, and so when I look at this, I'm like, if this isn't a grand slam home run, DC's dead. And you know what? I'm heading for the exits on this one, folks. Y'all can stick around, see if he hits that third strike. Okay.
So, and then go ahead, Lauren.
That actually kind of brought up an interesting question. The Max Fleischer cartoons in the 40s. If somebody were to do an adaptation, whether live action or animated that was doing that kind of an Art Deco style in that era, just done today without having the Joss Whedon style humor, but still having Clark being kind of a lovable, bumbling guy. That's where you get the comedy from. Does it work? Would people watch it? Would you be interested in that?
110%.
Be great.
I think be great because the thing about Superman is that there is a massive sci-fi element to the character. So I would say it'd be super easy if you make it just, you know, because we seem to be allergic to just wanting to say Superman, then you make a Man of Tomorrow, and you can take and actually make Metropolis its own character. I'll give, for all my complaints about the Batman, the one thing they got right was Gotham City.
Mm-hmm.
Gotham City felt like its own character. Metropolis is really, like, when you look at it from a comic perspective, it's really interesting. You've got Suicide Slums, which is just essentially almost as bad as Gotham, even though Superman lives in the town. And then you've got the section that Star Labs is at, which I can't remember what they call it. I think they call it the Science District. And you've got like old classic Metropolis. You could have the Science District look like the Fleischer cartoons, like this, you know, you could even pretty much go as far as giving it like a nice, like almost like a funky, steampunk kind of feel, big robots. This is super futuristic and have all these problems stemming from, you know, the super science that shoots out of there.
This is actually how you introduce the kaiju. Is what you have is the, let's say, a World's Fair in Metropolis where Lex's science experiment goes awry, and now you got your kaiju that Superman has to put down in the intro, and it introduces the hatred that Lex has for this guy because he shows him up at his own fair.
I really hope they go. That...
Go ahead, Martin.
Sorry, Nolan. I stepped on you.
Oh, well, I just want to say. Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead. All right, go ahead, Nolan.
Okay, I was just gonna say.
Apparently,
I hope
Nolan's
they go
done it.
full on.
Nolan decides who speaks now. This is the Nolan.
In your face diss. Anyways, no, I was just gonna say is I really hope that could be a really interesting idea. They could really ham up the cheese. Like, go full on Powerpuff Girls logic with it. Have like a little lizard that's at the fair and have like it get caught in like some toxic radiation, like by Lex Luthor. Have it wig out and have that be like the opening scene of the movie. That actually could work. I'm very big on, I don't like the idea of kaiju being in most superhero products. Like, I don't like the whole like Avengers versus Godzilla stuff. I think it cheapens the Godzilla universe. But I think they could do the trope of the giant mutated monster and do it with some love and respect. But I think they'll have the love, but I don't think they'll have the respect. But to you, good Martin, good sir.
Kevin and I are both big fans of the Phantom. And I think also Shadow.
Yes.
And those movies, they work for me. But clearly they don't work for mass audiences. I think there's something about shooting in that 40s style or with that sort of earnestness that just has not resonated with audiences in a long time. I want to see it come back. I want pulp era heroes to be in pulp era worlds, but it just doesn't seem to work somehow.
I'm going to disagree with you. The problem with the Phantom is Billy Zane. The Phantom got what it deserved. But the Shadow, I think, was actually a really good picture and deserved better than it got from the audience. That's a property that should absolutely be revived.
All right, two things on that. One, The Shadow, I just watched it desaturated, so it's black and white. That movie was clearly shot to be black and white. It's gorgeous that way.
The Shadow, they shot The Shadow as like a Sin City thing, right?
No,
like
I mean, some extent, but they were on.
You're thinking of The Spirit.
I'm thinking of The Spirit. You're right.
Which was awful.
But the other thing is Billy Zane in The Phantom is playing it like a 30s serial, and he's doing it perfectly.
Maybe so, but I hate Billy Zane, and I want to punch him every time he appears in any role in any movie ever.
Isn't that the point of Billy Zane, though? Doesn't that mean he did his job? Because he's always playing a very punchable character.
But he's about to play.
Even in the ones you're supposed to like him in. I would punch him as the Phantom. I want the bad guys to win. I hate Billy Zane.
Billy Zane is the secret baby face of Titanic. I will
Okay,
I will live
I'm
and
sorry.
die on that flag.
Justify.
I've got a theory that Jack is a time traveler, but Billy Zane is about to play Marlon Brando, and the pictures.
He looks amazing.
Yeah. He looks
It's
just like
honestly a little frightening.
I want to hear Kevin justify Billy Zane as the hero of Titanic.
He did nothing wrong. He's just trying to bring this ungrateful trollop to the States. And what does she do? She says she's going to marry him. She meets some homeless guy, poses nude for him, steals everything from him, and leaves him to live a horrible death. And then the selfish wretch, instead of taking care of her family, dumps the precious jewel into the ocean because she's too selfish to actually care about her family because she's too busy reminiscing about some dirty homeless guy she shacked up with after only known for 5 minutes.
Time traveler.
Yeah, but have you guys noticed a theme when it comes to like the preferred female love story? Titanic being one of the standard bearers for infidelity in film. That's the perfect romance. The infidelity.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
look
ladies.
at,
You forgot to mention this scooch over on the door so that he could get out of the water. I mean, there was plenty of room on there for him to get on. It's like, no, we're all full up.
Yeah. Well, it's Jim and Pam from The Office, like what Culture said. It's all about infidelity and sneaking around and like, oh, that guy doesn't deserve her. So let's make sure we. It's just.
I'm going to be beloved by these ladies on this panel tonight. I can tell.
I'm used to Kevin. It's fine.
I have endeared myself to everybody. But no, I'm sorry. Every one of these stupid love stories is like, oh no, my husband's a douche. I'm gonna go nail this other dude.
Homeless guy usually.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, like there's a new version of this out in the world now. It's the Hag Maxing version of things. It's called Baby Girl. It had Nicole Kidman in it, dinking around with a younger dude.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, A24 just crossed 50 million global with that film.
Didn't she do a movie years ago where she fell in love with her husband reincarnated in a child or something like that?
You know what?
Remember this movie?
It's Nicole
I
Kidman,
remember
but
it.
I'm sure.
I don't remember the title of it, but yeah, I remember the one you're talking about.
There was a way back when there was a film where All of Me was what it was called. It was one of the early Robert Downey Jr. films before he decided to drink everything but a fishbowl and climb into a kid's bed.
I think it was before we found out he was doing that.
Anyway, so he he's in that movie as the co-lead, but it's like with old people, like I don't know, some of these popular ancient actors. I don't know. Anyway, that one is completely about the fact that Robert Downey Jr.'s character dies. The best friend then moves in on his territory. But what happens is in heaven, RDJ gets body swapped with her dead husband's soul, and so he's back down on the planet and starts no, shoot, was that the pickup artist? No, it's definitely this. Anyway, he ends up with his what he doesn't know is either his own daughter. Well, I think it's probably his own daughter. But anyway, it's just that's a messed up film. There's a lot of moral plays that I just wow, I went off on a tangent. I don't know why.
When it comes to Titanic, someone in the chat mentioned I think they did an experiment and showed the door would have held them both, and the comedy thing is that was actually paneling decoration from the ship. It shouldn't even have held her, and I was too distracted by the fact that they didn't mention anything about every single millionaire opposed to the Fed happening to be on the ship that sunk. That's what I was more concerned with while watching the film.
I see, and okay, so but how often does paneling have doorknobs on it?
Oh, I have no idea. I'm just talking about the design. Someone actually found the design of the door on the original ship because they like to try to be like, oh, we're gonna make it accurate and everything. It's like, so you took a wall panel design because on a ship, you've got to put wood paneling if you want it to look pretty because most of these things are made out of metal, and it's it wasn't supposed to be an actual door, but they just like, oh yeah, we'll make this a door. It's like, if you guys are going for accuracy, go 100%.
Yeah. No, it's just, yeah, no, I mean, like you said, it's just, I'm getting tired of films that like make it the greatest love story moment of these ladies' lives is, the infidelity of it all. It's very problematic to me. Casablanca, Casablanca, infidelity. I mean, I could get started here. It doesn't look good for the ladies. I'm just saying.
No, it doesn't. Kev, what were you about to say?
I was gonna say one. I think Jess and I should do a separate feed talking about what really happened on the Titanic.
I would watch that, by the way, just so you know.
And then two, I do appreciate a little bit that it's driven James Cameron so crazy that he had to go out of his way to disprove that she could have put Jack on the boat, and no one believed it anyway. And now we've got stupid blue Smurfs remaking Dances with Wolves.
Wait, you're blaming that on Titanic? You're blaming Avatar on Titanic?
Yeah, listen, I don't know. I've said it 1,000 times before. If you've listened to anything James Cameron's had to say in the last 20 years, you needed to not listen to anything James Cameron has had to say in the last 20 years. That includes those stupid, awful blue movies. But that said, I think the biggest problem with Superman is that our current Superman does not look like a man. The costume is terrible. He looks wimpy. Everybody looks like they're doing lazy cosplay. The CW gave everybody way better costumes. I'm actually a little embarrassed that we have to keep talking about this movie. And I'm actually sad. This is probably the end of DC, although DC has done this to itself, and it deserves to die the really slow, miserable death that we are watching it go through.
By the way, we do break for $50 super chats on this show, and Regina Sharp with 50 big ones says, in regards to Casablanca and Titanic, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
I kind of feel like if you ain't rubbing, you ain't racing would be better. But no, look. Let me look. Okay, so The English Patient, that's a freaking infidelity movie. Bridges of Madison County, infidelity. Sleepless in Seattle, virtual infidelity. The Notebook, straight up infidelity. Man, I'm going through. There's a lot of them out there.
I think the only one I can think of is As Good as It Gets. Is the only one I can think of that doesn't have infidelity.
You're making a great argument for why I keep telling people to just like write off Hollywood, because almost every single movie is trying to just like promote degeneracy. So yes, agree, hard agree.
Regina Sharp, huge thank you for that $50 super chat.
Massive.
What a power level you've got. In fact, I would dare say,
Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level? It's over 9,000! What, 9,000? There's no way that can be right!
Oh, I love that clip so much. But thank you very, very much. We really appreciate it. And guys, we will circle back to the other super chats in a little bit, but we do on this show break for $50 or more. So that's the way to really get our attention.
Can you break so I can exit and take away the random?
Absolutely. Culture Casino, thank you so much for being here tonight. We appreciate having you here just a little bit.
Look, tonight's your night, dude, and congratulations to you. 5K in under a year. There's no hate in my heart, but there is like envy.
Look, you know what? If you have envy, then you have no one to blame but yourself, Culture, because you have been an amazing mentor over the last year who has taught me so much about this crazy YouTube world. And thank you for all of the knowledge you have imparted and the friendship that you've given. And I can't wait to see you in person very soon.
I know. I can't believe it. So literally like on the 5th, I'll be on the ground and probably cooking already, to be fair. I'll probably already be cooking. I rented a house, so I'll be cooking the whole time.
Oh, fantastic! All right, buddy. Well, we'll be seeing you.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate being invited, and again, congratulations. You did an amazing job in an incredible period of time, and I don't think anybody really appreciates how hard that is to do. So well done, and I'll help you in any way I can. And then you're gonna go flying past me, and then I'll just wave.
Culture, tell the fine folks at home where they can find more about you and all the stuff that you're up to.
I am incredibly difficult to find. If you look for Culture Casino on any social platform, decent chance it's me. So yeah, actually, no, you could be part of the new 30K wave that's about to happen in the next few days. If I actually make that how do I do a celebration stream from Florida? I don't even know how to do that. I'll do it when I get back. But anyway,
you can use my
got
setup.
that. Oh, all right, fine. And then, like I said, my goal this year is 100K. That's crazy. I only got 11 months left to do it. And I get to watch a terrible Super Bowl in the process. Anyway, I hope everybody has an incredible evening. And I've got to go prep for a show in 14 minutes. So I will see you guys later.
Good luck, buddy.
Bye, Culture.
No, wait, I lied. An hour and wow, I have time. I could finish editing a video. Okay, I'll see you guys later.
Bye, Culture.
Well, I have to shamelessly steal that clip from Pro again.
Goodbye, Gandalf.
I love it. All right, so moving on, guys. We have got another superhero story to get to, and it's not one that I'm happy about, but it's one we have to talk about. So your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man has gender and race swapped Dr. Connors and others despite the star's denial of identity politics in the show. So there in this picture, you see Dr. Carla Connors. The Lizard is now a black woman. The star of the show, whose name, I don't know. It's not Kirk Connors.
Let's just say BIPOC.
Yes, it's a BIPOC lizard. So the ironic thing here is that Hudson Thames, the voice of Peter Parker in the series, did an interview where he insisted that the show wasn't annoying and woke. His exact words were, "I thought it was awesome. I mean, my biggest fear was that it was going to be annoying and woke, and it wasn't. And I was like, yes, this is great. It's so well written. Like, it feels real. I'm the oldest of 5 boys, so I feel like I kind of know what's happening in their lives and in high school, and it felt like it was doing that justice." Okay, so the show's not woke. Let's see. We've race swapped several characters. We've gender swapped a character. We have one person of color who is going through, the cops are staring him down as he walks down the streets of Manhattan, and women are shielding their children from him based solely on how he looks. We had a not straight Asian girl giving a lecture about rich people being bad. We had Spider-Man capturing and then releasing a female criminal because she's just down on her luck. This show is insanely woke. Like, Kevin, I know you have a theory on this.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Do you mind? Thank you. All right. So look, we talked about it last night. Having a disproportionate amount of minorities in one area is not inherently woke. This just happens to be an Earth where Wakanda settled the Americas, and Midtown High is more like Hillman College from a different world than it is a genius high school. Where you get to see so I'm going to give the kid some credit because it's the voice actor's just a kid. The woke in the show is a little more subversive. If you're a normie and it's just on in the background, other than everybody's black or Spanish, you're not going to really notice it. But you see it when the scenes with Lincoln. I'm sorry, yes, and the Asian lady pulling the baby away, and then the police following him. And I'm like, this person who wrote this scene is not from New York, and is probably not black, because this super clean cut kid who is a known athlete is
wearing his varsity leather jacket.
Yeah, in his neighborhood is not getting profiled by the cops, because the cops who work that precinct are there every single day, and whether you want to admit it or not, they pretty much know everybody who is a problem walking through that neighborhood. I saw my feeling on this is that this is a trap. to quote the great Admiral Akbar. It's a trap. This is bait to get the laziest or the most incendiary of YouTubers to go out there and be like, black people everywhere bad. So that they can use this as a dog whistle and act like it's 2016 all over again. The show by itself is a perfectly serviceable Spider-Man show. I didn't have a problem with the villain. The Spider-Man fights are okay. It is what it is. It's just on the surface, it's okay. But there's just something very untoward and just, again, the woke is a little more subversive. It's not your standard Disney fare like the Acolyte where,
Well, what about like the rich people bad? What about letting the woman who stole money go because she's just down on her luck? No,
listen,
you string her up from that lamppost on webs and you leave them for the cops.
I'm going to be very blunt. If we are whining about some high school kid complaining about rich people being bad, then it's over for you. You're entirely too sensitive. And yes. Even people who are not woke can be a little woke sometimes. The virtue signaling goes both ways. It is what it is. People who do not have, well, again, you can see this is just for society in general. Tom Brady was one of the most hated athletes on the planet. Why? Because he was a winner. He won. He was better than everybody. That was his crime. Shut up. You're not as good as him. Deal with it. Rich people. I'm sorry you weren't in the Lucky Sperm Club and have to work for a living. That's not this rich person's problem. These kids, listen, I do a whole other feed about programming, but at the end of the day, let the high school girl who has no life experience whine about rich people. It is what it is. Who cares? Who cares? There are bigger problems in this show than the standard stuff. And I get it.
What do you think the problems are then?
They replaced Peter's entire cast with a D-list superheroes of various ethnic origins so that they didn't have to get hit with having a race swapped and gender swapped everybody. And because Disney has essentially trained us to understand that there's going to be a minimum of 3 unnecessary race or gender swaps. They got the Osborns and they got they got Dr. Connors in there. So those are your 3 right there. And then it's at the end of the day, it's all the other. If you're going to commit a crime, you're probably going to be white. It's a little more subversive. If I'm a parent and my back is to the screen and my kid is just watching this little Spider-Man show, I'm probably not going to notice it. Just like when they tried to do that weird little Jedi kid thing, and one of the things was a they them. It's just under the surface. It's under the surface, a little subversive. Try to sneak it through. That's my big problem with this show. If you're gonna do it, do it. If you're gonna do it, do it.
Well, how about the fact also, Kev, that they've taken away Peter's entire impetus for becoming a hero, his entire driving force, by having Uncle Ben be dead before the spider bites him.
That in itself is a whole nother problem. Spider-Man works because his origin, the very root of Spider-Man's soul, is dedicated to behavior has consequences. In an act of hubris and selfishness, Peter made a very bad decision, and it cost him one of the most dear people in his life. And because of that, he decided that he understood the message of with great power comes great responsibility. He is driven to fight crime because of his his indirect and direct responsibility in his uncle's death. Marvel seems to have this problem with men in general, so ain't no man going to be the inspiration for a young boy to do better in his life. It's all very subversive.
And
Can I
on
ask you a
paper,
question?
I like. Go ahead, Martin.
Could we be at the point where it sort of woke by default that some of these writers are no longer attempting to put subversive things into the story? It's just that it's so thoroughly a part of their worldview that everything they write, it's woven in there.
That's what I think is the biggest problem with this show. And when they announced the show, this was very much supposed to be a part of the MCU. And then they sat down and they realized that they didn't want to follow. They didn't want to follow what was set up, and they wanted to do their own thing. At the end of the day, this should probably be a Miles show, but I don't. This is kind of like let them have their cake and let them eat it too. The show opens up with a giant portal from what I have to assume is our Doctor Strange popping up in an alternate universe, and he drops an alternate universe Spider onto this alternate universe Peter, and then our Doctor Strange leaves, and now we're just watching a different universe. So they can do whatever they want to do here. It is what it is. That's why I'm laughing and saying, this Earth was settled by the Wakandans. So
that's a you thing, right? That's not a thing that they're like that.
That's just a me thing.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, on paper, I like the idea of it being almost like a what if instead of when he walks into the house that day during Civil War, it's not Tony Stark sitting on his couch, it's Norman Osborn. I like that. It's just everything to get up to that point was just a mess. Nolan, you watched it. What were your thoughts?
Well, actually, my biggest gripe with the show was one you guys were actually just discussing, just the disgusting way they handled Spider-Man's origin, because like that scene that happens in the episode 2, where the pyro dude that they made up for the show is burning that building, and Spider-Man's of course doing the whole Peter Parker thing where he's neglecting his normal life to go all superhero, and he's going to be late for the most important events in his life, being able to hang out at the cool kid party, being able to be part of a big internship at Oscorp. I think this should be a critical moment of the story arc and the character, but we never got to see him being selfish. We never got to see him trading in responsibility for the car to get the girls, to abuse the system in wrestling. It just goes right to he just doing it, and I just don't take Peter as enough of a saint. I know he had good like an aunt and uncle, but I feel like you're just missing a big part of the character. And then when we go outside of that, the world around him, well, I did like the idea of like, the high school relationship scenarios, because in my opinion, that was some of the best stuff in the Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon, was the whole like, he wants to be with the popular girl Liz, but Gwen is a better option. Then you got MJ, who's catty. Like, it was fun balancing that with high school meets superhero. But here, it just like you see what's changed around him, where instead of seeing like immersive characters, I'm seeing, okay, this is our token black guy, this is our token Asian girl, this is I guess my mind is just too racist apparently, because I never even thought of the idea of Connors as a woman. I'm like, where did you even come up with that idea? And now I don't think the show is awful. It's just a split 5 to me. It's like, it's not great, but it's not awful. I think there's people on here who are competent, but I just feel like there's almost a void where you need a little more soul to this show. But instead, I feel like you're chasing after industry trends for the past few years. And instead of being a moment where I'm like, yes, I'm seeing Spider-Man in an awkward situation where he has to interact with his crush's boyfriend, who ended up actually being a cool dude who admires Peter. That's genius. But instead, I'm just like, oh, they put him in here so he could be the token black guy. And I feel like that devalues people who are actually like that. I'm kind of mixed on it. I really hope the show can rebound, because I think there's interesting creative ideas. I'm all for changing things, but not at the expense of getting rid of major perks of character.
One thing that Martin touched on earlier, kind of like the default woke problem, it sounds the exact same here, where we've also reached the default non-creative writer problem. So, you guys are seeing these as like, why would they choose to do that? Why would they choose to do this? Why would they ruin X, Y, and Z? And all I see every time I tune into any of this stuff is the exact same thing, which is, oh, these people don't know how to write. They've never done anything. They've never actually had any meaningful relationships. And this might, people might be like, well, that's a little harsh. And I'm like, no, I know a lot of industry people, especially in animation, And I can tell you a lot of them have psychological issues, like actual psychological issues when it comes to relationships. And it's reflected in almost every single modern animated show that I have ever, that I've seen for the last 15 years. And when you start to like actually pinpoint it, it sounds so wild. People are like, that can't be it. I think you're reading too much into this. But you're saying it right now. It's like, why would they do this? Why would they do that? And I'm sitting here like, they literally can't help it. This is how they think.
That's true. That's very true. All right. Anybody else have anything they want to weigh in about this Spider-Man before we move on?
You know, it just Nolan said something that kind of sparked a thought in my head. It's kind of like JJ Trek, where when you're watching the movies, they are writing these movies going, everybody knows what happened to these characters already, so we don't actually have to. We can compensate for our shortcomings as writers by just kind of taking what these guys know, copying the homework, but not copying it, and just copying the homework, but not presenting it as well as the original source material, and just kind of squeezing through. Like, you don't have to show Uncle Ben because everybody knows about Uncle Ben. We just got to get him bit by the spider, right? Like, it's everybody knows that Spock dies in Wrath of Khan, so we're just going to switch it up and let it be Kirk. It's a bunch of really lazy shortcuts to kind of get to where they think they need to be. / some of it is what I've seen with a lot of these people is they just like to undo what other people did because they know that they can't do it as well as the person did it for them, and they got to tear it down and kind of essentially mark their own territory. And it's just, we're just kind of stuck, man. We are kind of stuck in this lack of creativity quagmire. And I don't know if this show is you have that like that 5-year recovery period where like it takes 5 years before you start to see it's, we know it's getting better, but it's going to take you 5 years to actually see it be better. I don't know if this is kind of where that is. Clearly they made a lot of very last minute decisions with this show because all the Spider-Man scenes seem just very tertiary to the plot. It's just he's Spider-Man because you got to get Spider-Man stuff in there. I don't know. It's just weird. It's a weird vibe. For whatever reason, they promised to go 3 seasons, so we got renewed for 2 more seasons. So let's see what happens when we get to season 3 if they figure it out.
3 seasons?
3 seasons. Yep. All right, guys. Moving along, we got to get some super chats, and then it's game time. And then we'll get to some more news at the end of the show. But John Williams for $4.99 says Mrs. Monster comes home and hears Marvin Trish doing a crime show and says, "So white people are obsessed with murder." Yeah,
I don't deny what I am. I'm aware.
But my mother-in-law's obsessed with true crime and murder too. So, and she's a tiny Asian lady.
It's a woman thing. I think more than anything, I fall into it. I completely own that I fall into it. You're not telling me anything I don't already know about myself. It's fine.
I make jokes.
Women, murder, hand in hand.
Yep.
We are chaotic.
Forever Runner for $4.99 says this is going to pull a reverse Flash, travel back in time, and destroy Kid Marv's action figures. He'd have to. My brother already beat him to it. So one-legged April O'Neil. I still remind him about one-legged April O'Neil. Tyler Golosinski for $4.99 says the problem is he doesn't look enough like Tony Khan, and I expected a muscled up Tony Khan. Damn it! Well, when he's Clark Kent, he looks like Tony Khan. But Jedi Master 2022 became a YouTube member. Welcome, Jedi Master 2022. As well as I gifted 5 Toontown TV memberships, so congrats to everyone who got those. John Williams says, "Oh, Kev, I must let you know, last member stream, Marv brought the bear in and both talk crap about you." Yeah, it's true. Me and the bear.
He spent money twice to make sure Kev knew that.
Twice.
So he really, really wanted Kevin to know this.
He said that one in early before you got here.
I appreciate you, John.
Yeah, he's keeping a lookout. He's a narc. Forever Runner 199 says he'll also trap young Kevin with the crazy SM fan. Can be
Sailor Moon
Spider-Man.
fan.
Like... Oh yes! Oh my gosh! Did you tell a story on this show, or was that on a member stream?
No, we talked about it on this show.
Oh my gosh,
We've talked about it a couple times on this show.
That is the craziest story ever. Saying Dis will do that. He'll lock the door so that you can't get out.
I will never forget this time when I was in Florida with my mother and we were at Disney Springs after the drone show and we were waiting like a freaking half hour for the bus. It was taking forever. And I was like, so there's a friend of mine. He once got trapped with a crazy Sailor Moon fan and
he told the whole story?
Yes. Including all the Adam episodes of Power
I didn't
Rangers.
know any better. She was hot. She was Asian. She had different color hair. Before that was a red flag. I didn't
Blue
know.
flag always a red flag.
Mm-hmm.
It was just
Regina
rebellious and fun back then.
Regina Sharp for $5 says, "Is Culture Casino's Fire Chicken judging me? I feel like it's judging me."
Fire chicken.
James T for $14.99 Australian says, "Congratulations on 5,000 subscribers, everyone. Thank you very much, James T. We very much appreciate you." Tyler Golosinski for $4.99 says, "Rooting for Samoa Joe, Sweet Tooth to Humble, Anthony, Jackie, and Twisted Metal." Fantastic. JPS for $2 says, "Congratulations on the 5K. Thank you very, very much." And then John Williams checks in for $4.99. Casablanca, at least, her husband was assumed dead. She left the main character in the past because she found out her husband was alive. I guess that makes... It's been so long since I've seen... I have never willingly watched Casablanca. It's always been part of a film class.
Shame on you.
Yes,
that is an excellent movie. We just reviewed it for the genre guys. If you have not watched that movie for pleasure, then you are dead to me, sir.
It has... I've watched it like a million times because I've taken a million film classes throughout high school and college.
It's
So-
one of the most quotable movies of all time.
Do you have any idea how much of that movie you owe to Indiana Jones and Star Wars 4? Do you actually know?
No, I don't.
Who do you think inspired Jabba the Hutt?
Oh.
It was Sidney Greenstreet. He inspired the character of Jabba the Hutt. The white tuxedo was not just James Bond. It was Rick from Rick's Cafe. The cantina scene, that's all Rick's too. There's so much that's in there that George was pulling from. Watch more noir stuff. Watch Treasure of the Sierra Madre. Watch Key Largo. Watch anything Bogart. Just do it.
I just watched Key Largo a couple weeks ago.
Treasure of the Aztecs as well with Moses. What's his name?
Charlton Heston.
That's right.
I've only got Trisha the Italians right here.
Everybody was like, "Wait, what?"
I'm shocked to find Lucas was stealing from the greats.
Mr. Jamie Jam 88 for $4.99 says, "Congrats to Marv on 5K subs and congrats to Sonic X Shadow Generations for now selling over 2 million units." Well, I'm glad to share the day with them because that game is awesome. Some of the best Sonic gameplay I've ever played are those shadow levels. They're fantastic. Regina Sharp for $10 says, "Okay, in defense of the Osborne race swap, when I was a kid, I did think Norman Osborn was a light-skinned black man because of the hair and a crappy colorist." You do say that all the time, Kev.
I say it all the time. Only a black man can have roles or have waves like Norman Osborn. Osborn's a part black.
That reminds me of how in the DC animated universe, how the way they drew Lex in that, everyone thought he was kind of a Blex.
Oh, with the what's his face? With the Kurgan played Lex.
Yes,
Clancy Brown.
I remember when they did a movie premiere on the WB. There was they showed it like 5 o'clock. Sorry, it's 8 o'clock at night, and my dad walks in and during the final scene where Lex tells Superman he's going to kill him, and my father was like, "Lex Luthor is black? They made Lex a brother? Wow!" And then he walked out the room.
Oh my goodness. Regina Sharp also says, "Hey, just in case, Kev, John Williams wanted you to know about Marvin the Bear and right."
Glom gold, glom gold, glom gold, glom gold.
They're really like living on this joke. All right, guys. So it's time to play a little game that I like to call Guess the Movie by its Terrible Review. So The way this is going to work is we will go one at a time. You guys will pick one of our categories. We have a number of categories. We have Disney animation. We have Harry Potter, Star Wars, and Marvel. Those are our 4 categories to choose from.
Before we begin, can I make a request?
Mm-hmm.
Kevin, hold up that pop can again.
Oh, it's a seltzer.
Okay, hold it up with your hand. I mean, like, put your hand on it. Do you guys, you know those little plastic soda pop candy cans that they get at the store? That's what it looks like in your hand, man. That is incredible.
And now imagine
you
now,
fight
now
Superman.
And now imagine, Lorne, him being like, "Let me show you what a wrestling chop feels like."
Show that to me again. I've never seen anything like that. That is amazing. Is it empty? Have you finished it? I want to see you crush it.
Get the new Kevin Apollo action figure.
Hand crushing action.
There's going to be nothing left of it. Oh my god. That's amazing. You just made my night.
The feats of strength. All right. So our categories are Disney, Harry Potter, Star Wars, and Marvel. You guys will choose one of the categories. I will give you a terrible 1-star review from a movie, and then you will have to tell me what it is. You get one take to tell me what it is. And Victory gets a point. Now there are some repeats. So just because a movie has been said doesn't mean that it's then off the board. So there are a couple of repeats in this, I will tell you. Some questions are easy, some are not so easy. And once you have chosen something, Trish, you cannot choose that one for a second time in a row. You have to go back to it on the next one. So if Trish picks Harry Potter, she can then not again pick. She has to pick something else before going back to Harry Potter. This
Who
rule
is
was
to
made
say
because of you.
Lauren's intelligent? He has strategy. Who's to say he wouldn't keep picking Star Wars? Like, why is this all on me?
Because Lauren is a man of honor. He's not going to do that.
Yes. A man of honor. Yes.
What are you talking about?
Can I derail this conversation for something that happened today that made me super duper happy? Because you said man of honor. So because I have a problem, I scoured eBay because I wanted a Worf. I wanted another Worf action figure, and so I had it. And when I left the room, Duke got his hands on it. And when I came back, and my mother goes, "Who's this weird little alien thing?" Duke grabbed it and kept screaming, "Daddy, Daddy, Daddy!" I was like, "Oh, my son called me Worf."
That is a proud moment
of my life.
That is a proud moment.
And from that
I'm
point
happy for you.
forward, Kevin's son's nickname was always Alexander.
No, I treated him way better than poor Alexander got treated.
Good.
You do have to gift him with a batleth, though.
Yes.
That will be when his training begins at the age of 6.
That's right.
Yeah, I said to him, when does his training? So he goes, he belongs to his mother until he's 6, and then he's mine.
Belongs to his mother.
You're waiting to take him out and be out in the woods like Piccolo style, just like throw him off a couple of cliffs.
No, that's my job after Kevin dies. As we wait for him to be wished back.
Hey, we go into it. Slay the wolf, peel back the spear, control your breath.
All right. So, Kevin Apollo, you are going to be going first. Disney animation, Star Wars, Marvel, or Harry Potter? Pick your poison.
Let's go Disney animation.
Disney animation. Okay. All right.
Cars.
Disney. No, it's not Pixar. It's all Disney animation. Disney animation.
I love how he takes it seriously. Kevin's just throwing it out. He's like, no.
Half-star review. This is why I'm a dog person. This is why I'm a dog person. That's the whole review.
I know this one.
Throw one out there. It could be It could be that it's a movie about a dog. It could be that it's a movie about things that don't get along with dogs.
I don't know.
Kev.
Cinderella because of the cat.
No, it is the. Hold on, I forgot
Are we
that I
allowed
have
to
this.
guess?
I mean,
Yes, go.
I know
go
which
ahead.
one it is.
I don't need the
Go ahead.
point, but I had an idea. Is it the Aristocats?
It is the Aristocats.
That's where I was
Absolutely
going.
The Aristocats.
Oh, I totally forgot about the Aristocats.
Kevin, your cat was trying to help you. Did you hear the meow?
The cat was literally like,
So I was like, dude.
we've trained for this.
You've gotta do your scales and your arpeggios, Kevin.
No, I think Kevin's cat
All
would be
right.
in the background with the rice hat and.
All right, Trish, which one are you going with?
I guess I'll go with Harry Potter, I guess.
I'm shocked. Half star, downfall of the franchise, becomes gritty for absolutely nothing. Freestyle adaptation from the book, cringe dialogue, and more holes in the plot than a Swiss cheese. It's a jumble of scenes with no correlation of cause and consequence between them. More of a montage of specific moments than the linear narrative it should be, preferring to invent a bunch of sequences instead of using its length to do the basics in exposing important elements of the story.
What? That was a lot. I have eight to choose
downfall
from.
Downfall of the franchise becomes gritty for absolutely nothing, for absolutely no reason. Freestyle adaptation from the book, cringe dialogue, and more holes in the plot than Swiss cheese. Jumble of scenes with no correlation or cause.
I don't know. Honestly, searching for clues to how the Aristocats, you kind of there's nothing here for me, so I'm just gonna throw out Goblet of Fire.
You are wrong. It is that. Well, I should really have it queued up. It's Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Okay. Can I tell you what went through my brain? I was like, well, dark and greedy, but I'm like, everyone likes that movie. And so I didn't pick it because I was like, well, who's giving that like a half-star review?
Trish, I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of these are movies that people generally like.
Oh, I think
and there's some troll. There's some troll out there that hates it.
Okay, thank you for that.
I misunderstood what was going on.
As soon as they said gritty, I was like, it's Prisoner of Azkaban. Absolutely.
Some of these are movies that people hate, and some of them are movies that people genuinely like.
Like in my head, I was like, well, it can't be that because generally everyone likes it. So why would anyone give it? I wasn't thinking like troll. You know what I mean? Okay, good to know.
All right, Jess.
Who genuinely hated it.
Jess, which one are you picking?
Oh, Disney animation. Let's go.
Disney animation. Let's go here. All right. I blinked and they were fish. I lost track of the plot, so we turned it off.
I think that's got to be The Sword and the Stone.
That is The Sword and the Stone.
Yeah.
Well done. Jess is on the board with 1 point.
Huzzah.
All right, Martin, pick your poison.
All right, so we had 4 categories, right? What were they?
Yes, they are Disney, Harry Potter, Star Wars, and Marvel.
Let's go with Star Wars.
Star Wars. Okay, fantastic. Let me pull up a Star Wars one. Okay. It's just people running away.
That's the whole review?
Just
yes.
people running away. I'm gonna go with I'm blanking on the name of it because I only saw it like one time because it was bad. The second of the sequel trilogy.
You believe it is? You think it's The Last Jedi?
That's it. The Last Jedi.
It is not. It is The Empire Strikes Back.
Yep.
Runaway the film.
Martin, you did the same thing.
Not an easy game. It's not an easy game. By the way, I
wish
shamelessly
we had buzzers so we could like chime in and steal the point.
You know what? Maybe I'll open it up to you guys to guess.
I'd have 2 at this point.
But I stole this game shamelessly from Mr. Sunday Movies, by the way. They play this and it's hysterical. Nolan Thunder, which category are you going for?
Well, since Martin already did Star Wars, you know what? I'll take a shot in the dark. Let's do Marvel.
Marvel. All right.
What is Marvel defined as?
MCU.
Okay.
Oh man. All right.
I was like, damn it.
So no Dolph Lundgren Punisher.
There goes my point.
Just so you guys know, some of these are super infuriating woke reviews. So just buckle up. Let me pick one. Here we go. Let me just find the right one here in the. Okay, cool. Oh, I effing hated this one. Absolutely dreadful McMovie. So sick of even the villains in these movies talking like they're Tumblr posts. This director is the worst to ever do it. Now, I edited the director's name.
Okay. But I hear it one more time, please.
Oh, I effing hated this one. Absolutely dreadful McMovie. So sick of even the villains in these movies talking like they're Tumblr posts. This director is the worst to ever do it.
Would that be Infinity War?
No. Anybody else want to take a stab?
Guardians
take it.
1.
I'm gonna blame
Which
Taika
one?
Waititi.
I was blaming
not-
James
I'll steal.
Gunn.
I'm going to say Eternals.
Nope.
I thought it was Guardians of the Galaxy 1.
Nope. It is Avengers Age of Ultron.
That makes sense. Joss Whedon.
yeah.
Yep. Is
What
Joss
were you
Whedon
gonna
is
say,
the
Jess?
worst to ever do it.
I was gonna guess the first Avengers actually.
Okay, but I'm going to defend the movie for just a second. The villain talking like a Tumblr post makes sense because he becomes evil when he gets internet access.
Oh, of course.
Right?
No, look, I'm not saying these reviews are correct. I'm just saying that they exist. All right, that was Nolan that just went. All right, Lauren, what do you got?
Hit us with Disney animation again.
Disney animation. So
Lauren
just so you
did
guys
that
know,
because I said Star Wars. He would pick Star Wars, so he's like, I'm not gonna pick it now. I'm
just
gonna
so you
make a
guys know,
little idiot.
we have seven Disney reviews. We have 7 Star Wars reviews, and then we have 5 Harry Potters and 5 Marvels.
The real reason that I'm not doing Star Wars is that it would be embarrassing as hell if I didn't get a Star Wars one right.
I'm already like embarrassed over here, so I
See,
already
I thought it
have
was
a
good.
background for you.
Sure, but you deserve to be.
I'm very sad because all the other categories I don't know much about, and everyone's taking the Disney animation one. Like,
I thought it was
no.
because Disney's the only one we've gotten points on so far.
Yeah.
I think I actually heard Trish. It's like I actually reset her.
All right, Lauren.
It's just like bam. All right, Lauren.
Whoa, Photon Empress.
Oh, did we just get a super chat?
Oh,
we
we sure
got-
did.
Whoa!
Membership.
Photon Empress just gifted
Holy
50
macanoli.
Toontown TV memberships.
Ooh.
Thank you so much. Photon Empress, you are an absolutely amazing person, and we are so valued to have you here on the channel with us. Oh my goodness, hold on. We gotta play
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind. Everybody hands go up, and they stay there, and they stay there.
super thank you, Photon Empress. That was awesome. That was amazing. Thank you so much. She has made the chat green, ladies and gentlemen.
That is
If there's-
amazing.
They might say it's not easy being green, but in this instance, it's quite easy because you get awesome exclusive content. So thank you guys thank you very much, Photon Empress. That was really awesome. Lauren, okay, you guys are gonna have to shout out if we get any 50+ super chats because I'm not looking at the chat. I'm looking at the pictures to put up when. Lauren, you want a Disney one. This made me want to speed up global warming.
Atlantis?
No, anybody else want to take a stab at that one?
Frozen.
Frozen.
Oh, sure.
See, I would have said the Little Mermaid.
It is Frozen.
I was going to go with Brother Bear.
All right, Kevin Apollo, you are up again. What would you like, my friend?
Let's go Disney animation.
Oh, you guys are killing me with this.
You can't pick it twice.
Run the table.
Wait, no, you can't pick it twice. You
Pick it
picked it the first
twice.
time.
Yeah,
Excuse
you
me.
No, I didn't really pay attention to anything you said.
Well, you're not allowed to pick it twice, so pick another one.
This is honest.
I don't know.
Potter, Star Wars, or Marvel?
Let's go Harry Potter.
Harry
I have no
Potter,
idea.
all right. Oh, F me. It's just Hunger Games now.
Was that
I
the
know
one where he
this.
screamed? Is that the one where he screams, "My boy"?
I think
don't
that
know.
counts.
Can I just like answer?
Yes, it is Harry. Yes, Kevin, it is Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
It's Harry
I'm
Potter
giving
and
you.
My Boy.
I'm giving you that one because it's such an epic moment. My boy.
That one's more Maze Runner.
Oh,
All right,
God.
Trish. What are you looking for?
I heard
What
that
you
part.
trying to get into, Trish?
I'll do Disney animation.
Disney animation for the one and only Trish.
It's like just hearing in my head now. Sorry.
I hate the pig. 1 star.
See, I
I
was
hate
about to say
the
I was about to say Toy Story, but then you said no Pixar, so I know it's not that.
I should.
And I was like, also, who hates? Why? What?
No, I'm saying I should have said that because then you would have guessed Toy Story and been wrong.
I'm already wrong once. It's not like I'm on some sort of streak. What has a
I
pig
feel
in
like
it?
the pig is not really a pig.
If you get this one wrong, will you be on a streak?
Yeah, a
Losing
really
streak.
crappy streak. Are you giving me? I feel like you're giving me.
No,
harder
this
ones.
is-
I know everybody else's, and I don't know mine.
I hate the pig.
I don't know. Is it the one where someone shouts "my boy"? I don't know.
It's got to be a that has a pig in it.
There's only a few.
Just guess.
I honestly, I think I'm suffering from you want me to name something, so like I can't. So I'll just take the loss, as I have no idea. You
Okay.
guys will all probably know
And
it.
Who else has
Can I
got
make a
this one?
guess?
Is it
Yeah, go ahead,
Lion
Nolan.
King?
I don't know if it's Disney or not, but were any of the Charlotte's Web movies Disney?
No.
No,
Is it
I hear what
Lion King?
Kevin,
what were you
Kevin's
about to say?
saying.
Is it
What were you
Lion
thinking?
King? Are they talking
It is-
about?
It is the
Yeah.
Lion King.
Wait, do you want to know how this is going to give you guys glimpses into my psyche? I was thinking like adorable little pink piglet, and I'm like, what movie has an adorable little pink piglet in it? And it's just got a warthog.
I tried all of these questions out on Mrs. Movie Monster before the show, and she guessed Moana on that one, and that was what I was hoping you got was the trap everybody was going to fall into.
I actually thought the chat had it right. They were guessing the Black Cauldron.
I was
Oh.
thinking the Black
With that, like,
Cauldron, but there's
prophetic
no
pig?
way.
I should have made one. All right, Jess, what do you got? You can't pick Disney again.
I can't pick Disney. Let's go with something I know I'm gonna get wrong. Let's do Marvel.
Marvel.
Just like,
It'll be fun.
join
There's no
me.
pressure. There's no pressure. I had pressure on the Disney ones. It's like I can't get this wrong.
I've already.
Let's see.
I'll share my
I
points
do.
with you.
I do not like racist imperialist propaganda. Great CGI though.
Black Panther.
Black Panther? No, it is not Black Panther.
Oh,
Let's hit with
damn.
Martin's funny bone.
So that was actually my guess.
Is
Anybody?
Is it Captain Marvel?
No.
I was thinking like the
Civil
two
War?
If it's not
No.
that, it's got to be Captain America, right?
Nope. It is Iron Man.
What?
Oh, because of the beginning.
Oh.
Yeah.
The Iron Man reviews are the most wretched hive of scum and villainy I have ever encountered. It's all just billionaire bad, war criminal. Like
Triple H wrote them all.
It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
the intro. It's because of in the middle of the movie when he's got the Iron Man suit when he goes to confront the terrorists that are taking hostages in the village. That's why it's the white savior complex.
Yep. It's
If they
partly
saw
that.
the clip of that kid though,
It's partly that. A lot of it was I'm not interested in a white billionaire war criminal getting a redemption arc. It was just absolute vile
I have
stuff.
a feeling these people have never read any Rudyard Kipling, and they would hate it if they did.
Probably not. Martin, what do you got?
Well, I got a bunch of jokes about Lenny Riefenstahl, but I'm gonna skip those.
that is the most Martin thing I have
Yes.
ever heard.
All right, I'm gonna go with
You must be fun at parties.
I don't get invited to parties.
Oh.
I'm gonna go with Marvel as well.
Marvel. Okay. Absolutely effing not. Why is anyone pretending this was good? Hogwash, dog water, cow feed.
Cow feed.
Um,
I mean,
There's got to be some kind of clues in these, Marvin. Come on.
Some of them are mean.
Thank you, Lorne.
You
Thank
gotta
you.
get the vibes, man. The vibes.
Oh, wait, hold on. I'm sorry. This one's actually Zack Snyder's Justice League. How'd that get in? Sorry. Hold on, Martin. Let me get you a different one. Let me get you a different one.
Also, it was the review he wrote for it.
Okay, here we go, Martin. The Eat, Pray, Love of the MCU. A movie with surrealist elements as imagined by the most boring people in the universe. When this movie came out, there was I have to skip that line. Oh no, never mind. When this movie came out, there was a real contingency that was like, yeah, I know we were concerned about the racism, but the buildings. What a visual masterpiece. Absolutely not. This has to be the least enjoyable movie in the series for me. I hope to never see it again. If I weren't watching all of these in order, I would never have watched it a second time.
I'm going to go with the white person to the east for spiritual enlightenment and say Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange! Martin's
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. The thing that struck me about that review is I wouldn't have watched it a second time. I can understand you're going in where the first time and you're like, I gotta see all of it. Once you're doing a see through the second time and you know you hate that movie, just skip it.
No, you know what? I respect people who, when they're like, I'm gonna watch all the MC movies, they even watch the ones that they hate.
Then don't leave a review like it's not a self-inflicted wound now.
I actually agree with that point, Martin or Marvin, until you get to Captain Marvel, and that one is right out.
My last watch through, I still watched it. I was like, all right, time to. I have not done a Marvel watch through since the Eternals came out, though, so that might actually test me.
All right, so that's what I was going to ask. Do you cut it off at Endgame, or do you keep going?
As of right now, I cut it off at Endgame. I went before Infinity War. So before Infinity War came out, my birthday that year, I had a 3-day birthday party where we just watched the entire Infinity Saga. I literally unlocked the door to my house, and my friends were allowed to just come and go as they please. And we had food and we had drinks, and we watched everything from Iron Man up to what was right before Infinity War? Was it Ragnarok? Or Black Panther, was it? I don't know. Whatever was the one right before Infinity War. But that was fun. All right. Who's Nolan? You're up.
All right. Give me Star Wars, Trebek.
Star Wars. All right.
The penis mightier.
I'm trying to not think about how many people have seen this film multiple times and all the people who will see it in the future. At any given moment, someone somewhere is watching this, and this will continue to be true for decades after you've died. I miss George Lucas, they say. No, you don't. You just don't like the new thing, and that's fine. But you don't want this, I assure you. What you want is a third thing, a good thing. What a shame that the past 20 years on this hell earth has conditioned everyone to believe that all choices in life are now bad or worse. Good thing simply isn't on the menu. Sorry for sounding so cranky, but I just watched this for 142 minutes and I'm going to bed.
It's got to be The Rise of Skywalker.
It is not The Rise of Skywalker.
I think it's one of the...
At 142 minutes, I think it has to be.
I think it's one of the ones with, what's-his-face, Hayden Christensen in it. Because they said 20 years, the past 20 years.
Oh, true.
With this stuff.
Anybody want to
I just don't know which one. I'm not...
Attack of the Clones. It is Attack of the Clones.
Oh.
I'm giving myself half a point. It's amazing I knew even that.
No, nobody gets points on the steals.
Where's our Drew Carey?
I'm giving it to
myself. You don't get points on the steals. What's the point of stealing if you don't get anything for it?
Yeah, all right, fine.
Cheaters never prosper.
Don't you know? Spider-Man just lets you go.
Yeah. Good. All right, Lauren. What are you looking at?
Give me Marvel.
Marvel. All right. Sure, it looks like crap. Yes, the action is incoherent. No doubt the political thriller angle of this guns for its entire the political angle for this... I'm sorry, let me start again. Sure, it looks like crap. Yes, the action is incoherent. No doubt the political thriller angle this guns for is entirely undermined by the vapidity and one-dimensionality of every character that overstuffs it from the offing. However, more than any of that, has any major tentpole film of the ostensibly of the essentially mass entertainment fun for all the family type ever exuded such outright evil and barefaced contemptibility in all dimensions of itself and sought to dub it good? I submit no.
Is this what I sound like when I'm complaining about Star Trek?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to guess that it's, I don't remember the subtitle, but it was the Captain America movie with Robert Redford.
Winter Soldier.
That we would
Thank
know
you.
it is not Winter Soldier.
That's what I thought too, Lauren.
Is it
Okay.
Civil War?
It is Captain America's Civil War.
That makes more sense as a review for Winter Soldier.
It does, which is why I picked it.
That's
Okay,
why
yes,
I didn't
and I
pick that one.
understand your strategy, but I'm just saying in general, why, how, what? This is the one you leave it on? This is
By
The one where
saying
the soldiers beat up the orphan with a heart condition.
the thing about it was when it said that it's overstuffed. That
Overstuffed,
every
yeah.
character that it overstuffs from the offing.
True.
I love that movie.
All right, Kevin Apollo, what do you got?
What the hell do we have left?
Marvel? You want Marvel?
I guess, sure. Or is there anything we haven't touched? Let's go more
No.
Harry Potter.
He's taking no, you can't
No,
pick
no,
two
okay,
in a
no,
row.
I changed my mind. And I don't know.
Well, go Marvel. Let's go Marvel.
Oh, God, Kevin, I love you,
Listen,
Kevin.
I
You're
played
like,
football and wrestled. My brain doesn't work properly.
oh God.
Look, I can put
All
tie
right.
my shoes.
All right, here we go. This movie could be worse, I guess, but I don't think it could be any less fun. Beneath all its nihilistic posturing and bleak presentation, this movie is fundamentally devoid of ambition. The plot feels like it was pieced together from discarded Avengers scripts. It's just the same Marvel schlock, but longer and somehow uglier.
Captain Marvel?
No, it's actually Zack Snyder's Justice League. Let me give you another one.
I actually had an answer too. I was like, that sounds like Endgame.
All right. Even by Marvel standards, how a movie that feels this watered down got approved by a million studio executives even exists is astonishing. It's so corporate and so mass manufactured that it makes Infinity War look like it had been doing it all for the art all along. Divorced from any of that, why is every performance so tinny and hollow? Why do we even call the things that Marvel Studios releases into theaters movies? There's at least some artistry in movies, or so I thought. I'm not one who needs a political message in a film, so it's always especially disappointing to see a film so clearly push a message. Clearly push a message that I'm a big fan of in such a ham-fisted, shoddy way. The script takes several lines of obvious buildup to deliver some extremely basic and watered-down dialogue. The world knows that authoritarianism is bad. It's this embarrassing simplification of issues to make your movie look progressive and cool that makes me roll my eyes.
I'm still not changing my answer.
What was your answer originally?
Captain Marvel.
It is Captain Marvel!
Yeah.
I was gonna say the Eternals.
Let me see. Do we have any more? I think we have done all the Marvels, so there's no more Marvel left. All right, Trish. As if I don't know where we're going.
I can pick Harry Potter again, so please.
You
give
can
me
pick Harry Potter.
Thank
Yes.
you.
All right. Here we go.
For me to not get it, so it's fine.
Okay, I'm trying to decide between the two that the three that
He's
I've got
like,
here.
which one will stump her more, so she can continue on her losing streak.
I'm actually trying to give you. I can't give you one because you heard it last night when I was telling you about this stuff.
Okay.
Okay. All I'm saying is if the Death Eaters develop Wii remote wristband technology for their wands, then Harry One Spell Potter would have lost.
I'm thinking. Let me tell you my logic first. I don't sound like a complete idiot if I'm wrong. I'm thinking it's talking about like the Death Eater. Maybe I'm off the mark. I want to say the Goblet of Fire because of the dark mark, but I'm probably completely wrong.
Is that
A final answer because forget it. I like listening to everybody else play.
It's Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. I should have let everybody else guess, but I got trigger happy.
That's right.
But yes, it's Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2.
You could say that about. Okay.
Is it on in the Harry Potter? Because I know there's 8 movies, but you had 7 questions. Are there any repeat movies in it?
There are repeat movies.
Okay.
Wait, in the Harry Potters, no, there are no repeats.
Well, that would have been nice to know.
You didn't ask.
That's exactly why she got it wrong, Marvin.
That is your job as the host to make the rules clear, Marv.
This is a sham. This is not a real game.
I said that there are duplicates in here. I did not say where they are.
No,
There's
I'm not here for your mind games, Marv.
That's exactly what you're here for, Trish.
Travesty, a sham, a mockery.
Lorne.
None of us are getting a vacation anymore. No kitchen sets. No free car.
My buzzer
Lorne,
doesn't work.
You know what, Lorne? Shut up.
Wow,
loud noises.
You know those times when they said that when Trish gets mad, she suddenly sounds like mom? It's like she used the mom. She doesn't know my middle name.
Hold on.
But she doesn't know my middle name, but I guarantee you if she did, she would have used it
Oh,
right
I definitely
there.
would have. Lorne, hold on. When she gets mad, she sounds like mom. I wasn't here for this conversation. When
You
did
talked
this
about
happen?
it 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Somebody
brought it up. Well, somebody brought it up in the chat. I thought we talked about it.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was a chat. Yes,
It was a chat thing, yeah.
My middle name is Michael. If you want to know, you can use my full name if you're
Lorne
angry. with me.
Michael.
Connor,
Seriously?
you got to go the whole thing.
Lorne
Yes, it is.
Wait, so
Lorne
wait.
Michael
So
Connor.
you are one letter away from Lorne Michaels?
Well, I guess sure, except that's his last name.
I know. I'm just saying.
Lord Michael Connor, you are so snarky tonight.
Wow. I'm sorry.
All right,
Not
Jess.
Karen.
Jess.
I gotta go with Disney animation. If there's
Disney
any left.
animation. Okay. This movie was a flaming hot Orientalist mess, and I hate it with every fiber of my being.
Mulan.
No.
Zack Snyder's Justice League?
No, it is not Zack
Oriental.
Anybody else? What other movie could be considered Orientalist?
The Rescuers Down Under.
So it's just the way Orientalist
Atlantis, Milo's Return?
The way Orientalist is used, from what I have seen.
Raya and the Last Dragon.
No, it is Aladdin.
What?
Oh my lord, that is a stretch upon stretches.
I'm telling you, man, like so many of the Aladdin reviews had that term in it, and I had
Well,
never heard that term before.
I get it. They're talking about playing up the exotic or fantastic elements of the Near East. So I get it. That's what they're doing.
It's a whole new world of racial criticism.
Amazing.
All right, Martin, we have no more Marvel left. Which one are you picking?
I will take Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Have fun getting it right, because I've certainly done.
They've never had a critic like me.
This is the worst thing that any Chris Columbus has ever done.
I know this one because you told it to me last night. I thought it was great, honestly.
The worst thing that any Chris Columbus has ever done. Sorcerer's Stone.
No.
Okay.
That was what
Chamber
I
of
said.
It is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Just
And then
get the
I
point on that.
proceeded to defend Chamber of Secrets because I like
Yes.
both the book and the movie.
I do too. I do too.
I like the
All
Bassets.
right, Nolan, what we got?
Harry Potter!
All right, I believe this is the last. This is the final Harry Potter one, I believe. What are colors again?
Is that it?
To be fair.
That's it.
To be
That's
fair.
Oh, that's
To be
any
fair, this
movie
is an
after
obvious
Chamber.
I think
Was that also a racial criticism?
I'm gonna go with. I'm probably wrong here, but I'm gonna guess by what the time period was. Half-Blood Prince.
No, Trish, you wanna?
Well, I have two guesses. I have two guesses.
Well, you only get one, so make it count.
Well, it's a way to put the pressure on, Marv. Well, I was gonna say Deathly Hallows 1 at first,
No,
but now I would like, is it Prisoner of Azkaban now?
it's neither. It's Harry Potter and the
fifth
Order of the Phoenix.
Is
What?
that the fifth one?
Yes.
Yeah, that is the fifth one. What? I never looked at that movie and thought it was devoid of color.
By the way, I would like to point out that right now Jess is in the lead. Jess, the woman who has not watched a movie in the last like 20 years.
20 years.
We suck, guys.
The vibes reign supreme.
I'm
Lauren.
sorry, I've infected you all.
Lauren, what do you got?
What are our options again? What's left?
Okay, so Harry Potter's gone, Marvel's gone, so it's either Star Wars or Disney.
I'm getting Disney. I might get.
All right, give me a Star Wars one.
Okay. All right.
Wait, before you ask, does this include real Star Wars or does it also have Disney Star Wars?
It includes Star Wars movies, Lord. That's all I'm going to tell you.
So
Can you
including the Ewok
lie,
movie.
Marvin?
Gotcha.
Are you allowed to lie, Marvin? Because I know
My-
what you consider a Star Wars movie.
Well, no, it's not my consider. It's a movie that has the word Star Wars in the title. I will tell
You are such a
No, but good on you for clarifying, because as you can see, he's sneaky and loose with the rules and how he likes to frame them. So
not just the rules. He's sneaky and loose in general.
So it must include Star Wars in the title. That means all the Family Guy specials are out the window. Guess something else.
So this person says, at this point, it has become part of my brand to start my reviews with a quote from the movie, but I genuinely cannot remember a single line from this. It's quite possibly the worst movie, if you could even call it so, that I've ever seen in the past 5 years, and it does not bring me any satisfaction because I genuinely like the director. But my God, there is not a single aspect of this movie that can save it. The performances are terrible, most shots look like they could be stock photos, and the script is so baffling that I'm hard-pressed to believe that it wasn't created by AI. I have no idea what they were trying to do with this, but the end result was an egregious mix of all the most insipid, boring sci-fi tropes that never managed to tell a cohesive story. Instead, it's a poorly assembled montage of character introductions, which might have worked if said characters weren't so completely forgettable.
You deliberately went for a sequel movie because I asked that question.
Did you hear that
Force
laugh?
Awakens.
It's actually Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon Part 1, A Child of Fire.
I was wondering, you said AI, and I'm like, all the movies came out before the generative AI thing. I'm like, what the heck?
Comedy comes in threes, folks. No, Lauren, I'll give you a real one now. I have hit Zack Snyder enough. Okay. With romantic dialogue like this, I can see why George Lucas's wife divorced him.
The Empire Strikes Back.
No. Anybody
Return
else
of the
wanna-
Jedi?
Back at the Clones.
Is it one of the ones with Padme and like I don't like sand and
You
that
can't
horrible
ask
dialogue?
clarifying questions. It's not
Well,
Attack of
it's
the
like-
Clones.
No, I'm not. Kevin got a point for going. Is that my boy?
Yeah, but he quoted a thing from the movie.
What? Yeah, I was gonna say
you quoted Attack of the Clones, and it wasn't Attack of the Clones.
Gotta give them credit here, though, because this is actually right. Because there's that scene, when he's saying something like, "You're so beautiful," and she says, "Well, it's only because you see the beauty in me," or whatever the.
So love has blinded you?
Yes,
No,
that's
because-
the one. Oh,
because
God.
you're so beautiful. Like it's terrible.
Yes.
It puts I don't like sand to shame, that movie.
Yep.
This
the
is
way,
double
for the
hilarious
record-
to me because just the other day I literally watched a what if scenario if love had literally blinded Anakin in that moment and they were rushed to the Coruscant hospital. It was so crazy.
I would just like to say, if you go back and watch the tape, my exact wording was, "Is it one of the ones with Padme because of dialogue like it's like I hate sand?"
That could be 3 movies. We can't.
I wanted. What do I know about Star Wars?
Kevin said, "Is it the movie where they say this specific line?" And he
I
was
wasn't
correct.
asking for a point. Is my question?
All
You were
right.
supposed to take
Trish
it
is
as an
right.
answer.
Yeah, but I'm also not going to answer that clarifying question because then that narrows it down. There's a vast array of Star Wars movies.
My
out there.
God.
Yeah,
Is
we
there
can't
no
ask Alex
pride?
Trebek.
Is there no pride in the fact that I even zeroed in on the right trilogy? Like nothing.
I am
It's just
actually super
good.
proud of you for
God.
that.
The point is, Trish really wants a car. That's really what's going on here.
Trish wants respect, Lorne. Trish wants.
We
Kevin
respect you,
Apollo.
Mom.
Don't I deserve respect?
You know.
And jewelry.
Yes.
Thank you, Trish.
Disney, I believe there's 2 more Disneys and a Star Wars left.
Solo.
And more than one Star Wars.
Kevin didn't pick a category, just throw out a movie.
Do you want Star Wars?
Yeah, we're going to Star Wars. And my answer is Solo.
He's like, I don't need to hear it.
It's like that part in Maverick when he doesn't pick up the card.
Don't you love it when half the scenes in the movie are just people staring into the camera explaining that, yes, the thing from the last movie is actually true?
I'm still saying Solo.
Not Solo. Lauren, you want to take this one?
The thing from the last movie is actually true.
Yes.
Sounds like they're talking about the Vader reveal, so I guess I'd have to go Return of the Jedi.
It's Return of the Jedi, and this is the Return of Lord Connor.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
All right. Trish, I'm assuming you're taking Disney here.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get a point. So it doesn't matter. It's fine. Just pick whatever. Disney's good. It's good. It's fine.
You might get it.
Oh, thank you, Jess. That was so sweet.
Oh.
She said it was such like, you might. Okay, go ahead, Disney.
Trish is having a rough night.
Yeah.
Hope
5,000
burns eternal.
celebration for everyone but Trish. It's fine.
She's just over in the corner by herself with a drink. Like,
It just
Just a
means,
single.
that just means my wish came true.
You know what?
dang.
Lauren. Now we're gonna play Marvel Rivals, and I'm gonna make sure we lose. So you specifically die in that game. So you get frustrated and bang your desk. What's going on now, Lauren?
This is going to become my favorite game now. It's just roasting Trish for no reason.
It's already Marv's. Let's go for it. It's already Marv's favorite game.
I don't think I've stopped laughing for like 20 minutes.
Oh my goodness. You know what? Like I like legitimately like feel like I need to find a different one for Trish because the last two Disney ones are really hard.
Little
You
Mermaid.
know what? Actually, you know what? Was there Star Wars? Apparently, I do the best at the franchise I haven't seen. So
That is where you've come the closest.
Do it.
Work for
Star Wars
Jess.
movie. I'd go for
Do it. Yeah.
Give me Star
no,
Wars.
I'm not giving you Star Wars. Hold on, let me find a different quote for you.
Just pick Star Wars
I didn't
and
get-
yell Solo.
Solo.
All right. All right, Trish, Star Wars. Here we go.
All right.
This movie is scripted like the pre-show of a Universal ride and not a particularly good one.
Say it.
Is that Solo?
It is Solo, a Star Wars story.
Yes! I got handheld to a point.
That's like it's like setting up the T-ball. Come on.
I don't care, Lauren.
No slander to T-ball I used to play.
All right, Jess. I believe there's a Star Wars left, and then there's two Star Wars left and a Disney.
Okay. I mean, I think I picked a Disney one last, so I gotta go for the Star Wars.
You gotta go
right?
Star Wars.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, let's go.
All right.
Has anybody actually been keeping track of the points?
I am.
Okay, you do know. All right.
The dialogue is atrocious. Flat characters spewing gibberish. I'd rather chew a blend of glass and Jabba the Hutt's tongue than watch this nerf-hurting, steaming pile of garbage again. Visual effects are Son of Fort for the 1930s. Mark Hamill should play more Joker because that's all he is, a joke. Harrison Ford was the most miscast character in the saga. Not enough Jar Jar Binks. Saw it coming a mile away. Overall, 0 out of 1 billion midichlorians.
I gotta say that's the one where Kylo stabs Harrison Ford, right?
It is not.
Is it the one where Mark Hamill drinks the green grossness?
It's not that one either.
Okay.
This feels
I
like
just
a
always see
troll
that
review.
I always see that clip.
And all the Star Wars quotes, but they're saying problems with Hamill and Ford.
Is it the holiday special?
No, these were all released theatrically.
Okay.
Yep. Can you reread it? Because I feel like he actually talked about 2 different eras here.
Yeah.
At least 2.
The dialogue is atrocious. Flat characters spewing gibberish. I'd rather chew a blend of glass and Jabba the Hutt's tongue than watch this nerve-hurting, steaming pile of garbage again. The twist is the most foreseeable. The visual effects are Son or for the 1930s. Mark Hamill should play more Joker because that's all he is, a joke. Harrison Ford was the most miscast character in the saga. Saw this coming from a mile away. Not enough Jar Jar Binks. Overall, 0 out of 1 billion midi chlorians.
Oh, not enough Jar Jar. Well,
It's Empire.
Rise of Skywalker.
no, it
It's
has
gotta
to
be
be.
Rises.
It's
What?
The Empire Strikes Back.
What?
So did they not see the
This is
movies
so
in
ridiculous.
order?
It's a troll review because he
the
said
Jar Jar thing is a troll thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Good job, Nolan.
Thank you.
This
You know,
person's
Lauren,
an
I think
idiot.
you and I are stuck on like on them being contemporaneous reviews.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I guess it's just that
No, see that review came from September of 2022. These aren't
That-
like
Guys,
that
we have
that
brains
review
that work
broke
normally.
my brain.
Yeah.
We have brains that work normally, guys. Don't
don't
blame
think about
yourself.
it too much.
Martin
Where did you
Stone.
get these? Rotten Tomatoes?
Martin Stone. There's a Star Wars and 2 Disney left.
Let's do Disney.
Let's go Disney.
Let's do Disney.
Ba-ba-ba-da.
You just randomly sing, Jess. You don't know that about me
One
yet.
One of the worst movies ever made. 75% inane songs, way too obvious plot, even for Disney. Very little humor. The humor that's there is beyond stupid and childish. Bland characters and just plain below par compared to what Disney and other animation studios have been able to produce in the past. Bar none, the worst Disney movie of all time, and probably the worst movie I've ever seen in my life.
Ooh. Open Range.
It is not Open Range.
Tangled?
No, not Tangled.
Little Mermaid.
Home on the Range?
Not Little Mermaid.
Cinderella.
Nope.
The Lion King.
Nope. It is Frozen.
That makes me happy, though.
Yeah, I'll allow it. That's well descriptive.
Yes.
All right, Nolan, do you want the last Disney or the last Star Wars? Because that's gonna then be on what Lauren gets.
Think strategically, Nolan.
I'll take the last Star Wars. I don't know. A voice in my head told me last Star Wars.
A man wearing that hat cannot think strategically.
I got him there.
You shut your wizard-hating mouth.
In the entirety of its nearly 2.5-hour runtime, it never once expresses a single idea of its own. Soul-sucking.
Section 31.
Idea.
No, it's actually Rebel Moon Episode 2.
Was that like the Stargiver or something?
Please read one more time if you don't mind.
Sure thing. In the entirety of its nearly 2.5-hour runtime, it never once expresses a single idea of its own. Soul-sucking.
I want to say The Force Awakens, but I don't know if it's that long. I'll say The Force Awakens.
It's not The Force Awakens.
I think it's Rise of Skywalker.
It's not The Rise of Skywalker.
A New Hope?
I was going to say A New Hope.
It's not A New Hope.
Oh,
Okay.
good to see Lauren and I have the same brain.
Trish, this is your chance.
I don't know. Another Hayden Christensen one. I don't know.
No. Kev, you want to take a stab?
No.
The first. I don't know. If
Rogue
we said,
One, a Star Wars story.
That Philistine.
I can't. You can't have. This is like asking sane people to explain the manifesto of a lunatic.
That's exactly what this is.
It's why it's so great.
If that were the
I'm
case,
enjoying this.
if that were the case, Trish would be winning this game.
I was just gonna say, Lauren, that you know what? It's great that I didn't get any. It means I'm the sane one here. Thank you.
All right, Lauren. That just leaves our last Disney one for you.
Hit me.
And I feel like
Maybe one
Nolan
more
would have.
time.
I feel like Nolan.
He's gonna
I feel
fetch
like
up.
you. I feel like Nolan would have gotten this one if he had chosen Disney. Never watched it, but the 2 times they've had this world in Kingdom Hearts, it's been a complete and utter pain in the culo to play through. I almost said the name of the land.
I'd like to call a friend. Can I call Nolan?
You know what? I'll allow it. Nolan, if you can get this, you could choose to either take the point for yourself or give it to Lauren.
Ooh.
Well, I'm definitely going to give it to Lauren because I've actually never played a Kingdom Hearts game.
Nolan,
So
you're so nice, Nolan.
That's surprising.
I know, right? Okay,
Yeah, I
so
assumed
I
you
have a
would've.
guess, and I could be completely wrong, but I know this level aggravated people to death, so I'm just going to take a shot in the dark, okay? Is it The Little Mermaid?
It is The Little Mermaid!
Oh, There you
Everybody
go,
hates
Lauren.
underwater levels.
Yeah.
Sweet.
All
I don't know
right,
if this
so-
gets us like in a game show cheating scandal, but the payola's in the mail.
Worth it.
So that means we now have to
Payola.
see who won the game,
Me.
ladies and gentlemen.
Guys, it's
The winner
literally me.
The winner is Jess wins.
How did you win this?
The person who has not seen a movie in 20 years won the game.
It's just me. She's crazy.
That's the secret, though. Like, I'm just going completely off of the psychological insanity of the reviews. I don't have any biases towards the movies.
On behalf of the Toonie Town community, we failed you. I'm sorry.
I didn't.
Uh,
I'm keeping my sanity.
This
I love
seems
this because
fake news.
I think this
Because
was
I
a
actually
success. I had a blast.
won stuff like this on MWR, like MWR competitions on cruise, and I'd get crap for that too. Like, what the hell are you doing, Lieutenant? Why are you winning trivia contests about Disney? It's like, I'm a nerd of all trades. Damn it, I can't help it.
I on my last cruise, I won the Marvel trivia.
Baller.
Yeah.
This is a great game. I love this.
This is
What were the
fun.
actual point tallies?
Kev had 3, Trish had 1, Jess had 4, Martin had 1, Nolan had 1, Lauren had 2.
I had 1.5. Thank you.
She had 1. You know,
Oh,
I
that
don't give out pity points.
I
But yeah,
do.
I would love to play more games in the future because I think that's a lot of fun.
That was fun.
Yeah. I will try to think up more games, and because look, you let me host a game show, and I'm always all there for it. So
We need.
You're very
the,
good. You
the
got I
YouTube.
saw in the chat, you got a good personality for this sort of thing. It works really well. Good job.
thank you. What were we saying, Kev?
I said you need the Family Feud music at the end. For the fun.
Yeah, from now on, when we play a game, I do want to have like an intro bumper for it and everything.
Get the
All right.
interrupt sound whenever someone loses. Do that.
Chef Eddie for $5. Marvin, you could just watch the remake of Casablanca, Barbed Wire. Barbed Wire. It's the same thing. These are the just to infuriate Lauren. I guarantee it.
You remember how I
Classic.
told him that he was like banned after his membership? It's like, I think you need to return his money is what you need to do. Then just give him the money back.
I will not
I
do
think-
that.
I think Chef Eddie has made superb super chats today. It's perfect.
I'm
Excellent.
naming you my nemesis. That's what's happening.
Quality content, Chef Eddie. Keep up the good work.
I name thee
I declare you enemy.
the enemy
From
of
hell's
Lauren.
I stab
my
at thee.
Did you say stab me? Which
Stab at the it's Ahab from Moby Dick.
She said,
Or Khan.
I think Orcon Indian
Or
said,
Khan,
Yes.
yes.
chased him round the moons of Tibia and past perdition's
Lauren!
Round perdition's flame.
round perdition's flame. That was it.
He tasks me.
He tasks me.
Me and I shall have him.
Oh,
Regina Sharp for $10 says, "Hey Kev, if you're Worf, does that mean once a week someone comes along and slams you into a wow? The bouncer got here before I finished. Yeah, I see the door. Ow!" I don't get that reference because I haven't finished Next Generation, but
Anytime
happens
there's
to-
an alien species that that has any physical prowess at all, Worf gets he gets a little beat up.
yeah, he gets his butt handed to him.
Yeah, it's not until DS9 where Worf starts winning fights.
It's like in the first season of Justice League where they wanted
say
to
that!
yeah.
Superman
Throws the Man of Steel across the room every episode.
Everything. And then you finally get that apology episode at the end of the season.
Oh, the
Wait,
one where he
wait,
gives
wait.
the cardboard world speech to Doomsday.
That's the
That's
finale.
an
Dark
epic-
Side.
Oh, Dark Side, yeah.
I love in the commentary they actually apologize for it. They're like, "We're sorry. We realized we were overusing the whole trope of let's show how powerful he is by having him beat up Superman." Second season of Justice League was a lot more fun for it.
I love how it's just a genuine like oops. It's like, oh, our bad.
Do you remember the last episode of Superman the animated series when he beats Darkseid in Apocalypse and he's like, "People, you are free," and all the people of Apocalypse pick Darkseid up and they're like, "Master, you'll be okay," and they like carry him away and he just turns back and he smiles at him. And he's like, "You see, Kryptonian, I still win," and that's how the series ended.
So
to be fair, there was supposed to be a third season where they were going to address the lack of trust in Superman issue, but then we decided that Batman Beyond was the priority.
There is a photo op. So there are a few photo ops that I was like, man, I would have loved to have gotten these at MegaCon. So one of them is Tyler Hoechlin is like $90, and I'm like, man, do I want to meet Tyler Hoechlin $90 worth? Not for a photo op, but for like his table. But then there's Hoechlin, Dean Cain, Tom Welling, and Brandon Routh.
Was Tom Welling actually going to be there?
Yeah,
He'll have a driver.
It's an RV.
Who did you pick?
No, so it's the four of them together, and that's $300. Or you add Tim Daly and the guy that voiced him in Public Enemies for $500. And I'm like, man, all these are awesome. But I'm not going to do it.
Tim Daly, like the guy from Wings?
Yeah,
Tim Daly's brother.
Oh,
It's the same.
wow. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, he
Alright.
voiced Superman in Superman the Animated Series.
Those are the references I get. Shows from the 90s. Those are the ones I know him from.
There's a lot of Supermen that are going to be there. The only one that's not there is if Cavill was with Welling and all of them, I would pay whatever. You know,
I was gonna say that table would be infinitely more expensive.
Well, and
I
despite
think it's
the fact
worth doing it anyway.
if I had more people that wanted to do it and we could all like split the cost, I would do it. But like eating the whole thing myself would, you know.
Next year, brother. Next year.
When is this? When is it? When are you going?
MegaCon. It's this coming week.
Oh, next week. Okay, and you said
it's next
who's
week.
everybody? Who's everybody lining up for the big photo?
It's Tyler Hoechlin, Tom Welling, Brandon Routh, and Dean Cain.
So tell
all
me,
together for his.
would any of those signatures individually be worth less than $100?
That's a good way to look at it, actually.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I like when I go to a table, I don't want an autograph. I want like a selfie or something like that.
So you don't actually get a picture; you just get to meet them then.
No, typically if you go to the table, if you buy like the autograph, you could instead of an autograph, you could typically take a selfie, unless they're cracking down on that, which I'm not 100% if they're doing or not.
Really? Last time I went to a convention, they paid like granted different place, but they were like, this is how much for an autograph, and then you pay this much instead for a selfie, or you can like bundle the two. So that's interesting.
Yeah, sometimes they do that as well. But the photo ops, you don't really get to meet them in the photo ops. Like I did the Boy Meets World photo op one time at MegaCon, and like you literally just I did a Boy Meets World one and I did a Stephen Amell one at New York Comic Con, and it's literally like you walk in and like you stand there, they click the picture, and you leave. Like you don't even get 2 seconds to say it. Like yeah, it's very quick.
That happened with me and John Cleese. But he was very happy to see a very tall woman with a nice outfit walk up. So he actually said a few words to me, and I felt very honored.
When I did the Boy Meets World one, I had time to turn to Will Friedle for like 2 seconds just to say Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker is the best Batman movie.
Thank you.
There you go. Yeah,
and he was like, "Oh my god, thank you!" Like he was like super like
happy to hear something other than Boy Meets World.
I guess.
I'm sure
By the way, somebody, whenever you get around to making another Ninja Turtles, cast that man as Leonardo, please. It's the only role he hasn't played. Mr. Jamie Jam for $4.99 says, "Now I want a Kevin Apollo action figure that comes with a crushed seltzer can, with seltzer can crush action."
It's the variant. The chase figure.
Regina Sharp for $5. Just accept the Jabba monster is making up the rules and the points don't matter.
Thank you, Regina. Thank you.
That should be the opening.
Make it like
be the Who's line opening.
Make it like I'm insane.
JPS for $2. You should play this on the wrestling channel. With what? Like with what? Like we couldn't do this with wrestling. I don't think.
I think he means the beef between Lauren and Trish.
You could do all movies with wrestlers in them. The Marine.
Listen, the Marine was suspenseful action amazingness, and I don't want to hear a bad word. I don't want to hear Marine slander.
No, there's no Marine
Condemned?
slander.
Anybody ever see The Condemned?
I love The Condemned.
I think, yeah, I saw that one.
haven't seen it.
Worth
Yeah,
watching.
but did John Cena go through the whole movie getting blown up but not have a scratch on his face? I'm just saying. The Marine
I thought it was a
did.
self-driving car. I never saw him in that.
The Condemned is fantastic. I love The Condemned. It's Stone Cold Steve Austin doing the Hunger Games, basically. Yep. Or at the time I said it was Stone Cold Steve Austin doing Battle Royal. With all it's all death row inmates put on an island together, and the last one standing wins their freedom.
And this was in the early days of the internet, so it's all streamed, and that was kind of the big thing. It was this underground gambling kind of thing where you're watching this illicit broadcast while all of these condemned criminals are killing each other on this island. It's good.
And that was around the same time that the remake of Death Race came out too, right? With Statham.
Yes, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that was shown on the ship a lot. I had no idea what was going on, but Jason Statham was in it.
All right, guys. So we got some Star Wars news this week, some infuriating Star Wars news. James Mangold says that he does not want his Star Wars movie to, quote, be handcuffed by George Lucas's lore. This is by Raven Redgrave. This is by Raven Redgrave over on That Park Place. She says, James Mangold recently spoke about his upcoming Star Wars movie, noting that he doesn't want to be handcuffed by George Lucas's lore. The James Mangold Star Wars movie is still going forward, confirmed to be an origin story for the Jedi Order. James Mangold, the director of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, recently shared his thoughts and plans for Star Wars Dawn of the Jedi. In an interview with MovieWeb, Mangold explained he wants to focus on creative liberty, unburdened by decades of beloved lore established by George Lucas. And he said, to me, yes, literally. He said, to me, the really important aspects are the freedom to make something new. George Lucas's storytelling pattern for Star Wars was meant to be like poetry, giving it structure and depth, but Mangold apparently wants to defy this traditional method to work something original in, as he put it. That's why Star Wars Dawn of the Jedi is going to be a prequel. Mangold said, it's an area and a playground that I've always wanted to explore, and I was inspired, and that I was inspired by as a teenager. I'm not that interested in being handcuffed by so much lore at this point that it's almost immovable. Guys, this guy needs to not be near.
That's such a contradictory, dumb thing to say. Can you scroll up for a second?
Yeah.
Really quick. Okay. It's an area and a playground I've always wanted to explore, which was established by George Lucas's lore. But then he's like, the lore part though, that's not important. It's like, what?
It's because he thinks he can do it because he thinks he can do it better. In Legends canon, there was already a story of the Jedi's origin, as Lauren will tell you, and there was also a Dark Horse comic in the Disney canon explaining how the Jedi were created. And so this is absolutely, this is already the guy that made Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny one of the single biggest theatrical bombs for any major IP in the history of Hollywood, and they gave him a Star Wars movie.
Can I say something too? His biggest grievance about fans not liking Indy was that fans don't want to see their heroes aged and diminished. And like, what are you talking about? Star Trek 2 is about the heroes feeling his age and contemplating his life. And then you get Lethal Weapon 4, which is all about the heroes both now feeling too old for this stuff. And it's like, and they're both beloved and they both made a crap ton of money. You just made a crappy movie, brother. Get over it.
Clearly, this guy has never seen any of the 3 Expendables movies out there.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I am not a fan of Logan. I watched it once, and I'm glad I've never seen it again.
Thank you. I'm the same way. I hate that movie. I hate that movie.
Really?
Log. It's just miserable. It's so miserable.
People only like it. The first time we got to see Wolverine hacking and slashing up people, and he said the F word a bunch of times.
Really?
Kevin, he revealed.
What were you saying, Jess?
I was going to say Kevin revealed the guy revealed it in his quote. He said aged and diminished, and you know everyone who's getting older realizes it gets better with the right perspective, and that's the stories that people love. It's like you realize, oh, I was worried about, getting older and like getting out of my prime and all that stuff, but the best movies are the ones where like, no, that's when the fun happens. That's when you actually show like what you're really capable of. So the fact that he even said aged and diminished is like, that man should be nowhere near a writer's or director's chair with that attitude.
Can you imagine how much money the Last Jedi would have made if instead of Luke being what he was in that, he was Grandmaster Luke of the new Jedi Order, who had finally had enough and was going to unleash his power.
Precisely. And it shows that these people don't like what they've been given to play with. And hell, he says it. Like Trish is like, made that perfect point there. It's like, oh, you want to play with it, but you don't like it. It's like, I want that toy, and then you just destroy it. It's a brat mentality.
If he wants to do Star Wars but not Star Wars, give him Flash Gordon.
Give him Rebel Moon.
Or, you know what? Look, I hate the bastard, but at least Zack Snyder went and created his own thing instead of ruining Star Wars more. He went and he made Rebel Moon, and everyone hated it, but he at least went and made his own thing. Yes, he pitched it as a Star Wars movie first. He pitched it as a Star Wars movie, and they said no, and so he went and made it himself with Netflix, because it's very much Star Wars.
You
but
can just
still,
argue that was
made
him
it
trying
himself.
to, figure if I pitch it as a Star Wars movie.
I actually really like Rebel Moon because I love Rebel Moon because it ended the myth of Zack Snyder as a talented auteur and exposed him as a hack.
You need to talk someone. You need to talk to someone about this Zack Snyder hatred.
if he never made another thing,
Zack Snyder.
Show me where Zack Snyder touched you.
If he had never made another thing after Justice League, the myth of him being this misunderstood and tortured auteur would have lived forever. And then 2 Rebel Moon movies came out, and everyone was like, "Oh, this guy sucks." And I'm like, "Thank you."
You're gonna do what you don't want and make people start to have sympathy with the guy. I know I do. The way you talk about him, like, leave him alone. He just makes some
ruined Batman. I mean, Batman a murderer.
I haven't seen Rebel Moon. Is it basically just Battle Beyond the Stars without George Peppard and Sybil Danning?
Now that is something we should all watch together.
that does sound like it would be fun.
No,
my goodness. No, but he at least went and made his own thing, and I actually respect that, because you tried to create a new IP. It didn't work, but there is room for new IPs to be made in this world. There's room for new heroes to be created. There's room for new things. We don't have to just keep mindlessly mining the same tired IP and dragging them through the mud with this modern audience crap.
I'm seeing where you're going wrong.
Where am I going?
You're thinking of it as these people are capable of creating their own thing.
That's
They're
very
not.
true. That's very true.
And I get it. I get why but they're just not. So
yeah. Well,
there
you go.
What
guys.
is it that it's like that woke default? It's all like this ball. They're not creative.
Mm-hmm.
It's a woke. You know what I mean? That's what we're stuck in, guys.
Well, guys, speaking of wokeness and studios in trying to inject it where it doesn't belong, Amazon executives have infuriated James Bond producer by declaring the 007 is, quote, not a hero. Future Bond movies at risk as producers label Amazon brass effing idiots.
Well, that's an effing idiotic thing to say.
Yeah. So the world's most famous spy may be able to escape death traps and out with megalomaniacs, but James Bond has met his match in Amazon and Hollywood's most dangerous game, woke corporate politics. The next installment of the 007 franchise is reportedly stalled due to a brewing battle between longtime Bond producer Barbara Broccoli, daughter of James Bond's original producer Albert R. Broccoli, and the executives at Amazon Prime Video, who appear to view the character as problematic for their so-called modern audience. Broccoli, the fiercely protective steward of her father's legacy, has been at odds with Amazon ever since the tech giant acquired James Bond distributor MGM for $6.5 billion in 2022. She has since reportedly referred to Amazon executives as effing idiots. But the latest roadblock seems to go beyond just studio politics. It's ideological. According to a bombshell Wall Street Journal report, an Amazon executive stunned a meeting by declaring, I don't think James Bond is a hero. The remark, which reportedly left the James Bond producers shaken, not stirred. And by the way, shout out to Lou Wasserman's Ghost, because I originally just put shaken, and he was like, "You have to go back in and put not stirred in there." And I said, "Okay, you're right." Encapsulates the very culture war that has been raging in Hollywood, one where classic masculine heroes are rewritten or sidelined in favor of progressive messaging. By the way, that's my favorite Bond right there.
Thank you. I never hear that
Because
answer. Thank
He's
you.
the one that is like the most James Bond, like
yes,
to me.
He embodies the suave, handsome, deadly super spy. I love
Dalton
it.
is the most book
N64,
accurate.
baby.
Yes, yeah, poor Dalton.
Dalton is 100% the most book accurate, and that is a hill I would die on.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you.
I think he's starting to get his due more now, though. I hear more people saying nicer things about Timothy Dalton's Bond.
You know what it was? It was too big a culture shock from Roger Moore to Timothy Dalton. People, and although like a lot of movies in the 70s were very gritty and very dark, people just weren't ready for that out of a Bond film. I think after how long was Roger Moore in the role?
Too long.
Yeah, too long. I
7 movies, right?
Something, right? I think did he? I can't remember, but yes, again, you're coming off of over a decade of exploding heads, and hello, good night, good morning, good night, and all that other nonsense, and then Felix gets brutally murdered, and you're like, what is happening? And Benicio del Toro was really creepy, and hey, well, this happened in the book, and it was man,
there's this really great moment in Living Daylights where he's at this carnival with Miriam Diabo, the cellist, and he's just being charming and he's having boyish sort of fun, and the second she's not looking at him, his face goes rigid and cold, and he's ready to kill somebody. And that's James Bond.
So,
you don't get that from Pierce until The World Is Not Enough. When he's when he kills Elektra at the end, oof, that is a brutal kill. But Pierce was like, generally always very charming and just fun. A perfect, I would say, the ideal blend of Moore and Connery. But yeah, like I don't know, Dalton's an unsung hero, and we don't get credit.
What's your favorite Bond theme song? I have a really hard time picking. Skyfall is a good song. Daniel Craig may not be the best Bond, but Skyfall, Adele did a good job on that song.
Skyfall's a good one.
That song is perfectly.
I'm not even an Adele fan, but that song is amazing.
Yeah, I really
Goldfinger's a great one, but I think I got to go with The Spy Who Loved Me.
I really like The World Is Not Enough.
Yeah, it's a good one too.
The World Is Not Enough is a good one. Thunderball is a fantastic one.
Tom Jones, yeah.
Tom Jones.
I had a Vince McMahon song parody written before all the Vince McMahon stuff happened, when the wrestling channel was brand new, and it was set to Thunderball, and it was called Grapefruit Ball. But obviously that didn't happen.
I was entirely too old when this happened, but they released a Bond CD that it was like an anniversary CD. I don't remember what the year was, but it had all the songs on it. And when it got to Thunderball, I, for some reason, was just compelled to run through the house, leap on my bed, and do a forward roll. And when I completed the forward roll, both of my feet went through the wall. Just a giant hole. And I was like, oh, shit.
So I see that, and I raise you. When I got WWE The Music Volume 3, I was blasting the Undertaker's Attitude Era theme and did a Undertaker flying clothesline onto my bed, and my heel went through the wall. So, yes, I understand. I get it. But yeah, Goldfinger's obviously great. I like Goldeneye. Goldeneye is a good song too. Like, I really like the lyrics in Goldeneye.
Can we all agree that Die Another Day is the worst?
Oh, I was just about to say that. Can we talk about our least favorites and why it's Die Another Day?
Yes. Live and Let Die is a good one too. I like Live and Let Die. I like that one. But yeah, this lady right here, Jennifer Salke, J.J. Abrams' disciple, she pissed Broccoli off because she described James Bond as just mere content. And Broccoli is very, she said, and so when Salke referred to James Bond films as mere content, Broccoli dismissed the remark outright and said, "I don't trust temporary people to make permanent decisions."
That's a great soundbite.
I like this girl. She's so cool.
You know, I was going to say too, listen, she hasn't exactly been the best steward of the franchise either. So you have to be.
No, she's got her problems. Yeah, she's got her problems. That's just a
great quote in general, man.
Yeah,
I like that.
She's got her problems, but at least she is doing, like, she's trying to protect her father's legacy, which is more than you could say for the Tolkien estate when it comes to dealing with Amazon.
Money,
but what do you guys? So yeah, guys, that's what's going on here. Is, you know, Amazon apparently does not want to make another Bond movie because, or they want to make a Bond movie that's not
Well,
that's not a Bond movie, basically.
James Bond needs to be a fat black lesbian in a wheelchair.
Mm-hmm.
Listen.
Well, look, one of the biggest travesties for everyone involved is the fact that this man is not being considered for James Bond.
Don't get me started.
Oh my god, yeah.
Anyone who has seen Man from U.N.C.L.E., which is a good movie, they would, if you were like, oh, he looks it, but I don't think he can play it, just go see that movie. Him as Napoleon Solo will show you that he can 100%.
He's a versatile actor.
It's 100%. Everybody's standing around going, "Why isn't it Henry Cavill?" And they want, they want Idris, and I'm like, I get it. I mean, but we're all kind of past
still
that.
has his soul.
Hey, did you guys ever hear that Alice Cooper says he was going to do the theme song for Man with the Golden Gun?
That's amazing. They should have let him.
Yeah, he says they backed out at the very last minute.
That's ridiculous. I don't know who did it instead, but no.
I like the Man with the Golden Gun song. But by the way, I did think of the game that we are going to play on the Wrestling Channel, Kev. I'm stealing it from a radio station. It's we're going to read a Hulk Hogan lie, and you have to say if it's an actual Hulk Hogan lie or something I just made up.
You know, he was almost in Metallica.
That's an actual Hulk Hogan lie.
Love that lie.
Elvis used to sneak in to watch him wrestle, even though Elvis died 7 years before Hulk Hogan started wrestling.
Or did he?
Oh, I know things, brother.
He never died. He just went to WrestleMania, baby.
Nolan, by the way, watched his first wrestling on our on Patreon for Tooneytown Wrestling. So
I had a great time. I was actually bringing it up during the T3PO while I was making a point about legacy and actually had to do with the workers at Disney. And I'm like, Royal Rumble, like old guards, new guards. It was relevant. I'm like, I'm happy I can make this point now. I'm excited for more.
Regina Sharp for $5 says, but how did Tripp's movie do? Did Tripp do a WWE Films movie?
He was a prisoner or something like that. He gets out of jail and has to take care of his daughter. It's like,
yes, the one with the kid. Yes, I do remember that, because the only other movie I remember him being in was Blade Trinity. Ewan Cumia for $2 says Mangold is nothing next to Glom Gold. I agree.
Truth.
He is nothing next to
Glom Gold, Glom Gold, Glom Gold, Glom Gold.
I always want to call that guy Marigold. I'm sorry.
No, it's Glom
every
Gold.
single time I see not Glom Gold, the Mangold. I always want to call him Marigold every time.
Regina Sharp for $5 says, is Zack Snyder in the room with us right now, Jabber Monster? He's everywhere.
Really?
JPS for $2 says, I'm with Marvin. All Zack Snyder movies are trash. Now, I don't think all Zack Snyder movies are trash. I like Watchmen.
It's
like
beyond that, JPS. It's beyond that. The pain he exudes, the anger. It's beyond the trash movies. That's why he needs therapy for it.
Regina Sharp says, I need to apologize to Erica M. Erica M actually got that joke in first, but I was in the buy chat screen. I'm sorry. I did see that. I did see that, and I did think you sniped her joke. So
he owned it.
Regina Sharp for $5 also says, to live and let die is the only one where Moore isn't relentlessly cracking wise. Not that I can hate the Sate.
I think it's because they was written for Sean Connery. They thought
Yeah, I was gonna say so many of the next guy's first movie was written for the last guy in this series.
That makes sense. That actually makes a lot of sense. Man with the golden gun. Now I'm just thinking of James Bond. All right. Well, I've put it off long enough. We got to talk about it. Captain America Brave New World star Anthony Mackie tells European audience that characters should not represent America.
Oh, do you have the Comic Sans?
Yeah, I do have the Comic Sans. But in a press event held, go ahead.
America says to press, Anthony Mackie should not be representing Captain America.
Yes. Very good. Anthony Mackie, the actor currently portraying Captain America in Captain America Brave New World, has stirred up controversy with recent comments that many view as dismissive of the character's foundational connection to the United States. In a press event held at the Hotel de la Ville in Rome, Italy, Mackie claimed, before a socialist European audience, to the European audience that Captain America represents a lot of different things, and I don't think the term America should be one of those representations. It's about a man who keeps his word, who has honor, dignity, and integrity. Here it is.
For me, Captain America represents a lot of different things, and I don't think the term, America should be one of those representations. Like, it's about a man who keeps his word, who has honor, dignity, and integrity. Someone who is trustworthy and dependable. It's kind of.
All right, he goes off on a stupid tangent after that, but the statement comes at a particularly inopportune time, just a week after the inauguration of President Trump, where the new U.S. president just sworn in, one who ran on the patriotic America First platform. It seems tone deaf for the actor playing a literal symbol of the United States to suggest that Captain America shouldn't embody the ideals of America. Mackie's comments have left many wondering. Is he saying that America is no longer a place where men keep their word? Does he believe the country lacks honor, dignity, and integrity? The backlash has, of course, been swift, with critics accusing Mackie of pandering to a European audience by undermining the very essence of Captain America while promoting the film overseas. So for many fans, the traits that he described align perfectly with the ideals of the United States, the very principles that Captain America has always been meant to embody. However, Mackie's remarks suggest a stark disconnect from that interpretation. Of course, it's not the first time Mackie is cast out on Captain America's connection to America. Ahead of the release of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Mackie expressed discomfort with the idea of taking on the mantle, saying the fear of representing a country who doesn't represent you, was something that's not only unfathomable, but hard to overcome. My dad used to say greatness is as far as you can see it. There are limitations that we place on ourselves because of our surroundings. And I did that to myself. That's definitely what Sam Wilson goes through. So he believes that, America is not a country that represents him, is what he's saying here, guys. So Marvel has been historically timid about promoting Captain America overseas. The original film in the franchise, Captain America: The First Avenger, was originally released in Russia, Ukraine, and South Korea as simply The First Avenger. And of course, Mackie's comments have sparked widespread outrage online, with fans now calling for a boycott of Captain America: Brave New World. So we'll get to his apology in a second, but guys, I would like Jess, I want to hear from you first as a veteran. I would like to know your thoughts on what he said here, because it seems wildly offensive. Because Captain America is not just a symbol of America; it's a symbol of the U.S. military.
Absolutely. And I kind of laugh when he's like, oh, it's hard to play a character, like that doesn't represent you, or, do something that doesn't represent you. It's like, well, yeah, America is not a collection of spineless, craven cowards going to other countries, pissing and moaning right now. That was the last 4 years. At the moment, it's definitely not. He is not representing it. And again, I'm sure everyone's going to cover exactly, the same sentiment, which is, you said all that, which means you don't actually believe in the character, and the character embodies everything that he described, but said the character doesn't embody. And it's a bit of a weird dichotomy, because in a way he's right, because the writers are not writing Captain America like that. So it's that weird thing where it's like, how dare you? But he's got a point. They've been writing Captain America pretty terribly.
Oh yeah.
Anybody else think it's weird that Anthony Mackie actually seems to like this country more than, say, Chris Evans does?
Yes.
Mackie's the one that said this.
Yeah,
It's
Chris
funny.
Evans never said anything like this.
Oh no, Chris Evans did. He said it better. He said it better.
Tactfully.
Yeah, I would say because Mackie just had a very bad day at the office. This was a celebrity trying to sound profound and then just shoving their foot all the way down their throat. What I'm just absolutely baffled by is you would think that Disney would have extensive media training on how to answer questions like this. How long have these movies been coming out? How many Captain America movies have we put out so far? This question comes up all the time, and the answer it just gets, it's the same answer. It just gets worse every time you hear it. It's like if they kept making clones of the clone in Multiplicity. It's like if we're way past the I like pizza Steve part of the answer of this question. Some of it comes to they don't understand the character. They don't really understand why Sam isn't working or didn't work as Captain America. It's Steve and Captain America are the same. They're the same person. Steve was born of the American ideal. The American ideals. You do right by your friends, your family, your countrymen. You fight for your country. You do the right thing. You try to
fight. Do you fight for the rights of every man?
Yeah. You do the right and just thing because it is the right thing to do. At the end of the day,
you mean you fight for what's right and fight for your life?
I'm not doing the Hogan joke. Stop with that hack stuff.
You fight for freedom wherever there's trouble.
Yes. Which is why Captain America is the moral compass of all the other heroes. When Sam puts on the Captain America costume, Sam is a tribute to Steve. The writers do not understand that. That is why it did not work when they did this. It's why this movie isn't going to work. It's honestly why I think Anthony Mackie is struggling. Mackie knows he has a turd on his hands, and I know we think that some people disagree with because the notion of the movie star is kind of dead, but I think that he is very much so aware that this film is going to really hurt his career, and they already have Chris Evans in the chamber. Whether he's going to be Human Torch or Captain America or not, at some point in time, he's putting that costume back on, and it's going to diminish. It's going to diminish Mackie's standing, and it's going to diminish standing after this crappy movie comes out.
What I have heard is that he's going to be Captain Hydra, because the Doomsday is going to be a inverted version of the original Avengers, with Downey Jr. as Doom, Evans as Captain Hydra, and a whole bunch of other stuff.
And that bombed the first time. People don't want to see it. And I think some of this too. This is of Disney's own making. Disney facilitated the lecture, the toxic lecture, virtue signal, finger wagging mentality that allowed these celebrities to denigrate the country and people over blue collar people and just make you try to feel terrible about trying to live a normal life. And people are so sick and tired of it that anything even remotely negative or anti-American is met with a mega visceral and harsh reaction. And Mackie is just he's taking lumps at a time he shouldn't be taking lumps. I'm not even unconvinced he didn't do this on purpose.
Yeah, so he issued a walkback statement, which right here we have Jonas's tweet, which I loved so much. When I'm president, I will issue an executive order mandating that apologies cannot be issued in any font resembling Comic Sans. So Mackie said, "Let me be clear about this. I'm a proud American, and taking on the shield of a hero like Cap is the honor of a lifetime. I have the utmost respect for those who serve and have served our country. Cap has universal appeal, characteristics that appeal to that people all over the world can relate to."
The last thing is all he needed to say.
Nowhere in
all he needed to say.
Nowhere in, I don't know. That just sounded like.
I mean in the initial answer.
Yeah.
The one where he stomped all over it. That was what he needed to say. Not it's not representing America.
He should have said Captain America represents the American ideals of truth and all that other stuff. And those ideals can even go beyond America because it's a human thing that everyone should strive for.
But this is something he said too, though, because he has gone into the Viper's Nest on a show like The View when they were spewing their nonsense, and he has stopped them from doing that and said similar things. I think he had a bad day.
He stuck his foot in his mouth.
Yeah, that's it.
You know what?
He short circuits a little bit afterwards. He's like,
I do love that moment when he realizes he messed up and he goes, and then pauses for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I think he is actually based in a lot of ways because he said things like this. So he downplayed. So people are trying to make this all about race, obviously, in all the interviews that he's doing. And, he said, well, yeah, they said it's very important for kids of all races to be able to watch something and have something to look up to, no matter what they look like, and see that the package comes with a good human being as opposed to what they've been perceived as by everyone else. So he basically said, people were trying to say, isn't it important for black kids? And he's like, well, I feel like it's as important for black kids to see a black Captain America as for white kids, because growing up, one of my favorite superheroes was Green. It wasn't about race. It was about him being a good guy trying to do the right thing, AKA the thing that we all say all the time. And now this just happened. I just saw this. I'll be writing about it tomorrow. But they, Variety and all the shill outlets were trying to make comparisons between Red Hulk and Donald Trump. Because, as Variety puts it here, who wrote this? Who wrote this nonsense? Zach Sharf. Okay. He's saying, it stars Harrison Ford as the U.S. president who transforms into the volatile Red Hulk. So comparisons to Donald Trump were inevitable and have already become a regular thing online. And so Anthony Mackie goes, he said, as I hope as a country, we're tired of all the political jousting. Let's just go to the movies, chill the F out. You could have made this mother effer yellow and it would have been a problem.
Wait, can Trump turn into a Hulk? Because if I knew that,
if he could have, it would have happened already.
Also, if they want to make that, they even missed the softball because he'd be orange.
Yeah.
Red? Come on. Such a reach.
MAGA red.
I
you
think,
know what I mean.
I think your formulation was best, Marvin, is that the problem, in a way, I agree with Kevin that I don't think that he probably meant to say what he said, or at least not the way that he said it. But the obvious comparison here is Captain America. What he should be saying is that there's no Cap like Steve Rogers. That's the guy who embodies, I was going to say truth, justice, and the American way, but that's the other guy. But nobody that embodies the American ideal like Steve Rogers. And anybody else that steps into those shoes is going to have a pretty tall task ahead of him. I'm a flawed man. I'm not going to be able to live up to that ideal, but I'm going to carry that shield and do the best job that I can to defend America. That's the right way to formulate that.
Yep, you're right.
Which is Bucky, by the way. Yet again.
Nailed
it. Especially because Bucky was in World War II also, and
and a super soldier.
And Bucky was also given a strange mix of chemical cocktails to make him a superpowered being.
And the significance of Steve being like, no, I think that you're this, because people are like, oh, he hasn't earned it. That would be the point. But Steve believes in this. I can't. It's so frustrating to me.
Virginia Sharp, by the way, for $5 says, what are you guys talking about? They stopped making Cap movies after 3.
They stopped after 2. Because Civil War is definitely an Avengers movie.
Yeah, Civil War is an Avengers movie masquerading as a Captain America movie. So I have one last thing that I think will kind of be a fun topic, and it's for my Trekkies on the panel. Elon Musk heavily rumored to boldly go into Paramount takeover to make Star Trek great again.
Please.
Will Elon Musk buy Paramount? And more importantly, is Elon Musk trying to save Star Trek from Alex Kurtzman? Many believe so based on some recent events. In a dramatic twist, a consortium of investors calling themselves Project Rise Partners has reportedly made a last-minute $13.5 billion all-cash bid to acquire Paramount Global, challenging an earlier deal spearheaded by Larry Ellison and Skydance Media. This unexpected offer not only raises the stakes for Paramount's future, but has also sparked intense speculation about the mysterious backers behind the bid, which made the world wonder, Could Elon Musk be attempting to save Star Trek? According to Variety, Project Rise Partners submitted their superior bid on Friday, just as the Skydance Media and Redbird Capital Partners deal was nearing completion. Their proposal offers $19 per Class B share, which is a 27% premium over Skydance's $15 per share, and includes a $2 billion boost to Paramount's balance sheet. The bid's attractiveness has thrown a wrench into what had seemed to be a done deal, leaving the board with a fiduciary dilemma. While the identities of the investors behind Project Rise Partners remain undisclosed, a few tantalizing details have emerged. Sources described one backer as one of the richest men in the world, and another as a pioneer in the satellite industry. So naturally, speculation turns to Elon as CEO of Tesla and SpaceX.
It's obviously Howard Hughes.
Mm-hmm. As the world's wealthiest individual with a net worth exceeding $430 billion, Musk has revolutionized industries ranging from electric vehicles to space exploration. His Starlink satellite constellation has reshaped global connectivity, cementing his reputation as a pioneer in cutting-edge technology. But could he now have his eyes set on Star Trek? So let's take a look. Elon Musk said, let's make Starfleet Academy real. And William Shatner says, so does that mean you are buying Paramount? And that led to everyone making the phrase "Make Star Trek Great Again" a thing on X. It became a rallying cry, echoing frustrations of fans who were tired of Kurtzman Trek. Shatner's endorsement wasn't just an offhand comment either. As one of the original stars of the series, he represents a direct link to that golden age. And his suggestion that Musk might be the one to restore the franchise to its former glory has only fueled that speculation. And of course, Star Trek has an Alex Kurtzman problem. This guy right here, he is a stain and a disease on Star Trek. But Elon Musk has made it no secret that he has a passion for Star Trek. He's often spoken about how the series inspired his dreams of space exploration and his vision for humanity's future.
Star Trek did that.
Yeah, right. They had hope. So, guys, could Elon Musk be trying to buy Paramount just to get Star Trek?
I would love
thing he'd do.
I love every possibility of this timeline. I mean, he could get it and it could suck, but I have just been praying for a nerd who likes nerdy things to get Star Trek again. And literally the dude who's responsible for the rockets going there. I mean, can you get a better match in the modern age that would actually fit Star Trek this well?
The guy that did Picard season 3?
Terry Metalis?
He tried.
But eventually they're going to get old. Like, we do need to pass the torch at some point.
Well, and it's got to be to someone that loves Star Trek. The problem is, and this is the problem Star Wars has, is you always either give it to somebody who loves Star Wars too much and is so overcome by the desire to be a part of Star Wars that they forget to make a movie, or it's someone who doesn't like Star Wars who wants to change it and make it theirs.
That has been Star Trek's problem. Star Trek's problem is the studio goes, you wrote a movie that's entirely too Star Trek-y. And then they blow it up. They've been doing this forever.
Oh, since the first movie.
Yeah. So it's like
you don't think Kurtzman was trying to take Star Trek and mold it into his image of identity politics? You think it's a studio thing?
No. They gave it to Kurtzman because he does what he's told, and he is as untalented as he is incompetent, and he is trying to in fact do that. It's just Alex Kurtzman doesn't have an original thought in his head. This guy is the guy who comes in just like JJ, except he's worse. JJ will come in and say, "Hey, let me see your homework," and he'll at least change 2 or 3 answers. Kurtzman just copies JJ's homework.
Is Kurtzman a JJ disciple? Is he one of the?
He's been gifted to us by JJ. It's just he is. Listen, Alex Kurtzman gave us a boring Spider-Man movie that almost made Spider-Man a not evergreen property. He made a awful Silence of the Lambs TV show that almost got him called out because that Clarice TV show is so bad it's embarrassing. I don't understand how these people just continue to fail upwards. He is so bad that Akiva Goldsman's Star Trek was mistakenly declared as okay. The guy who put nipples on the bat suit and gave us the bat credit card is writing Star Trek that people are going, it's okay. Why? Because the fans of Star Trek right now are stuck in an abusive relationship and are going, he didn't smack me in the mouth, so he's doing a lot better. He's really trying. Star Trek is brain dead. It has sustained a grievous brain injury. We are watching it bleed out. I wish someone would come on and just put the bullet in Old Yeller's face so that I can get past this. Section 31 was a crime against humanity. This MFer should be on trial in Nuremberg right now for the crimes he has committed. I have nothing but actual, pure, burning, raging hate in my heart for the name Alex Kurtzman. When someone says Alex Kurtzman, it actually just everything tenses. Everything.
Show me on the doll where Alex Kurtzman hurt you, Kev.
Here.
I thought you were gonna say your heart.
Your soul.
No. Here my brain. I actually watched. I will. So we had to read Beowulf, and I kind of already done it earlier and did not want to reread it again.
Whose translation?
It had to write a paper on it. And Star Trek Voyager did an entire episode of Beowulf that I was like, oh, and I passed it. Because it just like you used to actually talk about classical literature. You actually used to forward-thinking thought. The most the most thought-provoking thing that happened in Star Trek is how exactly did the guy in the wheelchair get onto the bridge in Discovery? Because for some strange reason there was a guy in a 20th century wheelchair on the bridge of a starship that has no ramps. But because we need it for diversity's sake, there's a guy on a wheelchair. A fat chick who somehow got through all of her training. The non-binary they them ghost person thingy who's there for whatever reason. The virtue signaling Vulcan who's like, no, I get it, even though it's completely and totally antithetical to how Vulcan's brains function. I hate it. I hate it so much. I'm so embarrassed that I have to talk about this all the time.
But now,
so
how do you think it would be different if Elon bought Paramount? Do you think he would take a direct involvement in Star Trek, or would he just hire somebody that he trusted to do it?
Well, a lot of it comes to Les Moonves hates Star Trek, which was a big part of the problem. They just needed someone who could probably come along and print money. The worst thing that could have happened to Star Trek was that the 2009 reboot did well, and I'm not going to crap all over it. It's a perfectly serviceable action movie that gives you some pretty nice beats. There's some silly things you go, well, why would that happen? But it was what it was. It gave it a kick in the pants that it kind of needed for a little bit, and then the rest of the story happens. But at this point, I would give Star Trek to a 5-year-old. Because the 5-year-old would give me better, more compelling stories than what these monkeys are doing over in Paramount. They should have given it to Seth MacFarlane. Seth MacFarlane, they told him no, and he went to Fox and gave us the Orville, which is the most Star Trek thing to happen in 25 years.
Yep. The Orville's great. I got to rewatch it soon because I also have to finally, get back into Next Generation because I'm still working on that.
Star Trek.
Nolan, go ahead, Lauren.
Star Trek has a twofold problem. One is that the executives are not particularly intelligent to start with, but also that they have disdain for their own audience and don't think that they have any intelligence either. I actually think that Abrams was somewhat right in 2009 and that Star Trek did need a little bit of Star Wars energy, but it didn't need as much as it got. And the problem is now, what Star Trek should be is something like Guardian at the Edge of Forever. And you're never going to get Guardian at the Edge of Forever out of anybody who's running Star Trek right now. That's where it needs to be. You need to be looking at things honestly like The Twilight Zone, The Outer Limits from the 50s that were anthology shows dealing with interesting questions, just things to pose the audience with and think about how would you handle this mentally, spiritually, philosophically. That's what Star Trek was doing, was asking these kinds of philosophical questions in a sci-fi setting. And until they start thinking from that standpoint, Trek is not going to recover.
I think you're right, Lauren. You look at what the writers of original Star Trek and Next Generation went through. We're talking about people who saw the Second World War and the Korean War. Some of them participated in it, and they thought big questions because they saw big things in their lives, right? And the Next Generation, you have those guys still writing it, but you also had people who saw Vietnam or had Cold War questions in their minds and things like that. And now we've got people who weren't even born when 9/11 happened.
Yeah.
Writing Star Trek. And we've had some awful things happen in our world, but a lot of us have been told, don't think about that. That's no big deal. Hey, look at that TikTok. And that's the people writing Star Trek. They haven't thought deeply, and they've seen the world in 30-second sound bites.
Yeah, 100%.
And they lack and there's no respect for perspective. Star Trek never told you what the answer was. There were even times where they played devil's advocate.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not. And what you get a lot of Kurtzman Trek is, no, this is the bad thing. You're bad if you do this. And it's like, but no, there's no. We're not going to debate this. We're not going to discuss it. It's and again, it's even if you go to DS9. DS9 was, I think DS9 was like the Deadwood equivalent of, it was like Deadwood. You have this dad who doesn't want to be here. He's has a certain set of morals, and he's got to figure out how to make it work in this place that has its own set of rules, and it's lawless, but it has rule. He's got and then a war breaks out, and he's just struggling to do the right thing. In very morally ambiguous times, and they touch on a lot of really, almost frightfully. They predict a lot of things that were going to happen. 10 years after the show was done, and it's really very forward thinking, and that's the worst part of it all. Is the forward thinkingness of Star Trek is completely and totally gone. From the technology part of it to the how to look at the world and appreciate it part of it, to just the moral clarity of it all. The Star Trek works best when it is like-minded, good-hearted, like-minded people working together for a common goal. And it now it's just a bunch of selfish people whining and crying and backbiting and backstabbing and there's just running, pews and running, and that's just
you know whose take I would like to get on this from the worlds of That Park Place and T3PO, Mr. Vash Sky.
Hello.
Hello.
What am I doing here? Goodness
First
gracious.
time on the Toontown channels. Welcome, my friend.
First time on. I wanted to go ahead and come on and congratulate you, Marvin,
Thank you
on
very much.
5,000. It's an incredible accomplishment. So I wanted to make sure that, that was represented by me of That Park Place. Hello there, everybody. It's interesting. I was listening backstage, and Kevin Apollo, I think you're so right. Martin, the life experience thing is so huge, right? I think this goes beyond just Star Trek, but the limited life experience of so many of these creators is really what, keeps them from creating great works that really endure for many, many years to come. That's the big thing that I think we're missing from I don't know, media in general, is that the people making these concepts, whether it be working in these franchises, IP, so forth, obviously don't respect the brands, but they have such limited life experience to pull from that they really keep them from really transcending their time and place.
Yep. Bash, one cool Star Trek thing that's happening right now, you and I were talking about earlier on Morning Magic, is this Universal Fan Fest thing that's going to actually have a Star Trek experience on it. Do you want to briefly go into what that's going to be like? Because when I saw this, I was legitimately like, I wonder if I could go to Hollywood like sometime in April to go, just literally to go experience this.
Yes. Let me see if I can actually bring it up right here. Yes, I do have my screen, which is pretty good. There you go.
You,
go ahead.
You don't want to go there, Marvin, because nothing else in your life will ever be as cool after that.
Yep.
So Universal Fan Fest Nights at Universal Studios Hollywood is actually taking place, what is it, through the April and May. It will feature all kinds of experiences. I was geeking out over the Back to the Future experience, which is going to be super, super cool.
They're actually going to take you onto the lot, onto the set, the Hill Valley set with the clock tower, and do a whole thing there, Vash. It's unbelievable.
Where they filmed the clock tower scene and all of those great scenes back in the 1985 original film. They're going to have Enchantment Under the Sea dance. They're going to reenact the DeLorean going back in time with pyrotechnic and lighting effects. It's going to be awesome.
So much fun for you and your mom.
Yes, that's great, Martin. Fantastic. But in terms of the Star Trek, though, I think we have this right here. Yes, they will have a couple experiences akin to mazes at Halloween Horror Nights. Star Trek Red Alert will be like a Halloween Horror Nights maze, but instead of a conga line of people going through it, you'll be pushed as a group from room to room to experience a full story. The story is we'll be visiting the USS Enterprise, and of course something will go wrong. An otherworldly threat wreaks havoc on the ship, and we'll have to continue to navigate through the many of the ship's environments. From the sickbay to the control room to the turbo lifts, and even onto the iconic bridge of the Enterprise, which is actually the set used in the final season of Star Trek Picard. We'll even get to experience a transporter.
That's so cool. That is so. So it sounds like it's going to be set during Next Generation then. Which I mean,
yes,
if it's
I think they're going for Next Generation.
Yeah, that's amazing. That is super cool. Vash, you're coming in kind of right at the end of the show, unfortunately. But
no, I know.
One last thing that I wanted to there's some breaking news that just actually happened that we'll be covering tomorrow on that Park Place. Ooh. Leslie Headland has stepped down from Netflix's The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo adaptation.
I have that book. I haven't read it yet, but I have that book.
She's claiming personal reasons that, I just can't do it. Interestingly enough, this happened right after the actual numbers for the Acolyte were revealed in the Luminate report this week.
It's a good connection right there. I never really thought of that. Wow, that is interesting. Leslie Headland stepping down, huh? I thought everybody got a Netflix deal though. They just threw those out. What could have impacted Leslie Headland's take on the Netflix deal?
Right. Lauren, you just watched The Acolyte. What do you think about Leslie Headland exiting this project?
A few weeks ago, I coined the term butt exits. Yes. And I'm very proud of it. It sounds to me like her career may be experiencing one of those right now, and I couldn't be happier.
So we will cover this next week. I'm thinking because of MegaCon, we will probably have to go Wednesday night next week if you guys can make it. We'll see, what we're able to do because I just realized that next Thursday night is MegaCon. So yes, Lauren.
One other thing that I saw recently is apparently the final book in the High Republic series is going to be debuting this year. And so that's another thing that very shortly is going to be ending. So other good things are happening in 2025.
The world is healing. All right, guys. Well, this 5,000 subscriber celebration has been incredible. The generosity on display here tonight, the friends coming together, just this entire Tooneytown community means the world to me. Thank you to my esteemed panel, to Culture Casino, who was here earlier, to everyone that super chatted, everyone that chatted, just everyone that helped us experience this here tonight. Let me just make sure we don't have any more super chats that I missed. I think there were. Let's see. Regina Sharp said it would obviously be the best, most beautiful Hulk, but it wouldn't make me huge because I'm already huge. And then Regina Sharp also said for $5, hey Marvin, did you see the Jim Henson Creature Shop made a beholder for the D&D HHN thing that they were doing in Vash's article? Yes, we have an article on that Park Place dropping at 7 a.m. tomorrow about this. Also coming later this week on that Park Place that I'm saving it for the weekend is we have an editorial by Lauren Connor coming out along with an article by Nolan Thunder. We got a lot of stuff going this week. So, Vash Sky, why don't you tell the fine folks out there where they can find out more about you and everything that you're up to?
Absolutely, the best place to find me is going to be at that Park Place, where the YouTube channel that is. That's with Marvin and Culture there, and everybody doing some great things there. We have Morning Magic, which is a live show that occurs every single. I think is it
Tuesdays and Thursdays?
Yes, it's Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm trying to figure out the time in my head. Yeah, it's 11 a.m. Eastern. I just show up to these things and they just happen. But 11 a.m. Eastern on those, right before the pro show. It's a good warm up for all of that. We have T3PO Live there on that pod place on YouTube as well, where we go into all the things that are happening in the theme park world. It's going to be at 4 p.m. Eastern on Thursdays. Hopefully back up with Lou and you on that pod place, happening every Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern, where we take your questions and go into vintage Hollywood. It's a lot of fun. Marvin has actually hosted the show. Very, very cool stuff right there with Lou Wasserman's Ghost. Very fun indeed.
Hosted that show, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and you did a good job. You did a great job. So,
thank you.
Again, you've really earned these 5,000 subscribers. I'm telling you, folks, he's doing some great work over there at that pod place and that place.
Thank you very much. Lauren, tell the fine folks where they can find more about you and everything you're up to.
You can find me here on Thursdays. You can find me on Pro Stream quite frequently when he invites me on. I'm with Lou Wasserman's Ghosts and Hangry Table for the Genre Guys. You can find me at Lauren Connor on Twitter and Lauren Connor 9030 on YouTube.
Fantastic. And Lauren, if I know you're running low on time, so if you got a dip, then feel free.
All right, I'm gonna go grab some food. See you guys.
See you, buddy.
Bye, Lauren.
You, Lauren.
Nolan Thunder, tell the good folks at home where they can find more about you.
All right. Well, you can find me on my YouTube channel at Nolan Thunder. I talk about internet mysteries, video game mysteries, all sorts of media mysteries. So if you like little documentaries with a spice of B-movie horror and comedy, you can check me out on my YouTube channel on my series Lost in the Files. I take a few months to make some of those sometimes, but I'll tell you, the wait will be worth it, and I really hope you enjoy. And you can also find me routinely appearing on this show and T3PO every week. And I'm also on this special That Park Place membership show with a few people here, and I'll pass this right along to Martin.
I think Martin is... Oh, good. You back, Martin?
I am back.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I am on The Lost Guys with Nolan and Trish and our friend Hangry, who's not with us tonight. We talk about lost media. We talk about fond memories of pop culture. But we have had a problem lately. We can't really figure out what to do our next episode on. So anybody who's a member over on That Park Place, swing by one of the videos, leave a comment, and let us know what you want us to do. I mean, we're coming out with something anyways, but we'd love to hear what you guys have to say.
Awesome. Jess, tell folks where they can find out more about all of your wonderful projects.
Well, you guys can find me at kalayworks.net, and you can also find me on the YouTube channel, the same name. I'm usually doing all sorts of interesting things at different intervals, but regularly I release a short podcast called Audicious every Wednesday at 08 a.m. And I guess I'm here as often as I can be on Thursdays, thanks to the very generous Tooneytown crew. So thank you for that.
Thank you for being here, Jess. Trish, where can folks find all the stuff you're up to?
Well, you already know, with Nolan and Martin and Hangry, Lost Guys, I'm here every Thursday. And I also do Crime and Punishment with Marv, member exclusive video. We're talking our murder show.
Yes, it's a true crime. It is a true crime podcast with Trish and I, where we talk about murder and,
most foul.
We do take it seriously. Don't think that because of the name we joke about it or anything. We actually are very respectful.
It's just such a whiplash to be like, we're all and then I'm like, yeah, no show about murder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You almost teared up a bit when we were recording last night.
I do every week.
You do.
Every time.
I'm waiting for the one that's actually going to make you cry. So
we'll see.
But so what's the one? The one we just did was what was the woman's name again?
It was, I feel like I said the word murder a lot. The murder of Dorothy Stratton.
Yeah. So that was really interesting. So Playboy Centerfold, who was murdered. You guys will be able to catch that any day now once I can actually get it up there. And then the next one we decided we're doing is going to be a big one, because Trish and I are going to be going through the murderings of Ed Bundy.
Oh,
The murderings.
Yes.
The murder stylings.
Yeah, I said we thought I was like, you know what, we've eased ourselves in. It's time to go for one of the big three, and we decided that we're going for we're gonna detail Ted Bundy.
Little Teddy.
We said we need like an actual like sicko psycho for our next one. So yeah, it's gonna.
And I was like, don't worry, I got you.
Yeah, no, Trisha knew all about it. Kevin Apollo, what do you got going on?
I'm sorry, I was wrapped up in the chat and them talking about Highlander 2 because I love how just ridiculous Highlander 2 is.
Highlander 2 is ridiculous.
Hey, anything with Michael Ironsides isn't all bad.
He'll be seen in the chat.
My friend, help me! I'm here for no reason, and I'll be gone for even fewer reasons. I love that movie.
So bad. It's so bad. But yeah, Kev, what you got going? We got Toonie Talk on Tuesday night.
Hey, Toonie Talk on Tuesday, and then I'll be over with Pro doing the Wednesday night reviews for Spider-Man, and then I'm back here on Thursdays, and I don't know. I'm just kind of wherever you guys need me to pop up at. I'm around, yelling at things on Twitter.
Hey, you know where else I am?
Where else are you?
I'm on your Patreon for the Royal Rumble 92 for
You
Toontown
are
Wrestling. I just remembered that.
We had a fantastic crew to watch Rumble 92, which should be coming out tomorrow. And that features myself, Trish, Kev, Nolan, and Dis. And we had a really fun time watching one of the greatest Royal Rumbles of all time. So not the greatest Royal Rumble, that was in Saudi Arabia. But yeah, guys, again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you all for 5,000 subscriptions. I never thought when I started this channel back in May that it was going to get this big, this fast. It is all because of you guys, the Toontown community. I am just one humble monster, and you guys keep this channel afloat. And I am eternally grateful for your support, for your attention, and for all the kindness that you all have shown me. So thank you guys very much. And guys, we're not done, because guess what starts now? The road to 10,000. So we'll see you guys there. From all of us here at the Toontown channels, I'm Marvin the Movie Monster. Now get out of here. Now, Perry the Platypus, feel the wrath of my thank you-inator.
Thank you, you piece of trash.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you! Oh, I suppose you want me to say thank you. Well, you know what? Saying thank you is like jobbing. Thank you! I got a little message. Thank you. Ooh, yeah.
Oh, thank you! Oh, thank you! Thank you! Thank you! Thank you! Thank you!
Thanks? For what?
Hi-ho, from all of us here at Toontown, thank you!
And viewers like you. Thank you.